Hey, yo, Wes. Welcome to the Damu Keyway Conversations. Hey, everybody on IG, hit that active chucks on YouTube if you want the content. You know what I'm saying? I just pinned that for y'all. Everybody that's on the tube, I see my good peoples is already coming in. Hit the like button first and foremost. Take them chucks off before you step on that carpet. Don't dirty up the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? You get a DP for shit like that. Hit that like button. We got the content. Oh, I got the work. Nigga, I got the work. For real. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go over it. WorldStar hip hop exposes Wack100 as a federal informant. Court filings say documentary substantially true. Hey, listen, we just getting started. Hit the like button. WorldStar Hip Hop has made a filing, and the lawyers declared under penalty of perjury. Under penalty of perjury, that the Wack100 exposed as federal informant documentary. Oh, Duse M's on that. I own that. Substantially true. Under declaration under penalty of perjury. Y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all finna get the word. Hit that like button. If we don't get them like, Mike B, Solution, Bass Charles, Deuce is officially kicking much ass with this knowledge. Hey, listen, man. Y'all thought that this shit was over. The worst thing that rat ass ever did was to say Duse Sims was a snitch. Nigga, come to find out, I got all my work. He ain't produced no work. He was the snitch. He's on the internet. Shabazz, Charles, Salute, Jot G, Aftermath, White, Duse Sims to die. You already know, y'all know what's happening. Get these likes up, though. Southern Force, salute to the Damu Keyway fam. What up? John L. Bankhead's looking with the popcorn and gave the thumbs up. Hey, listen, man. Just get your popcorn. Renegade Duchess, salute to all. What up? Renegade Duchess, phone going dead, but I will be back after I get home. And I already hit the like button. Well, look, we appreciate you already hit the like button, right? We definitely appreciate your presence, Queen. But right now, we finna stomp CS2 teeth down his rat ass mouth. Ricky, salute, dude. Salute to the Damu Keyway fam in the chat. Hit them like button and let's go. Damu Keyway Conversations, Duse M, salute 100. Hey, Kid the Barber, salute. Buddy Flowers, Jersey, salute. Panda Man, salute, man. Natchez, Mississippi to Seattle, Washington. That's my guy right there. He's coming with the new podcast. We just completed an interview. Once he get all the tweaks out and it's to his liking, I'm going to share the link. Please go support the brother. You know what I'm saying? He just getting started. We need more voices. Nah, my chucks is laced and active. Exactly. LAB, salute. Urban Max TV, Duse Sims, the dime. Y'all already know what it is. Stand on it media. Hey, Stand on the media. Condolences to you and your family. You know it's always love, bro. Definitely our prayers are with you and your family. Don't think we forgot about you. We're not supporting you. I'm here for you if you want to talk, brother. Sometimes that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? It's about time. You know what I'm saying? Kid the Barber, WorldStar Hip Hop, the real Phoenix J, strong heart. Oh, she dancing. Oh, it's nasty work. It's nasty. Hey, I be outside with my gang. You know what I'm saying? Do you gang bang? Hey, listen, that rat, you caught it from the jump, Deuce. I said, I don't know no damus that want to interview a federal informant like the Coochie 6ix9ine in person. Hey, academic, let's do it in person. It's going to go viral, right? Salute to the Damo and Keyway family, one red heart, blue heart. Dahlia Hood, salute my guy. Hey, listen, the good people in here standing tall, 213 Megan Davis. What up? You know what I'm saying? Immortal. Salute Deuce, Yah, and the whole Damo Keyway camp. Salute to my brother Yah. Let's start there. Adam Real. Salute to my brother Yah. You know what I'm saying? He here when he ain't here. Salute to my brother Bomani. Salute to my brother Big Messy Moore. Salute to my brother Big Gov. You know what I'm saying? It's a salute. It's a whole lot of love. No Diddy being passed around. Look, Megan Davis said, hey, la Monte. We appreciate that. Whoop that trick, Deuce. Vindication. Deuce M's down. Hey, Bloody Five, man, you already know what it do. Hey, listen. Whack. All you talk about now, that's whack. Hey, LA King, 100. All I talk about is whack. But we got the paperwork. And the paperwork says Duse M's in it. So we talking about my business. We talking about my intellectual property. And we talking about my bag. What is you talking about, my nigga? See, these professional eggplant yokers, you know what I'm saying? Like LA King 100, stay with my phallus in his mouth. Nigga, take my pubes up out of your throat, nigga. They're stuck in your esophagus, right down the trachea, nigga. It's that long. You know what I'm saying? And you had your mouth open that wide. You know what I'm saying? Pause. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, stand on it media. Salute Active Chucks. You already see what it is, man. Look, separate the lie from the jive, my boy. See, one thing y'all gonna learn about Duse M's, I'm very persistent. Really consistent. Big Nuke, what up? Miss Keita to you. Salute, hearts. Miss Lisa was shaking everybody. Sir Dude, salute. Blue hearts with the active chuck. Salute, Queen. So, one thing I care too much about is my name. They say a good name's worth more than gold. I remember when my G homie told me, hey, Duse M, a good name is not only worth more than gold. He said, you know why I fuck with you? I said, why you fuck with me, G homie? This the ballest nigga in the set. Dead homie. If you know, you know. Miller boys, nigga. Damn, you know why I fuck with? I said, yeah, nigga, because I'm out here doing my getting crack and blah, 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 popping it. And he laughed. This the G homie in the set with the biggest bag. Straight gangster, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Legendary. And he said, nah. See, I don't know about y'all, but I was raised kind of different. A long line of brims, nigga. Black revolutionary independent militant soldiers. Those who stood for their community when this shit started. And understand the history enough and thought it important enough to entrust me with it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? When y'all hear me popping about the gang, that's how long I was young having to learn this. If you know, you know. But he said, nah, Duse M's, the reason that I fuck with you I could buy a killer, nigga. 5 bands, nigga, is the going rate right now. I could buy a bitch. I could buy a house. I could buy a car. But I can't buy loyalty. Someone could buy your loyalty, and they're just a hired gunman to whoever got the biggest bag. A prostitute. Nobody respects those guys. I can leave this place right now with the drawers full of hundreds and fifties throughout every motherfucker, throughout the kitchen cabinets and drawers filled with money, nigga. And I know not a dollar gonna be gone when I come back. You already rich, Duse M. Rich in character. And niggas with bags is always gonna remember that. You'll never be broke. I soaked that up. I digested that and I walked that. So when you get CS2 back, Immortal, salute, salute, salute. When you get CS2 back, the long tail rap 100, Deuce called it and exposed the exposers a long time ago. Oh, we finna talk our shit. We finna talk our shit. Hit that like button. Westside, Las Vegas is in the building. Deuce M, what it do? Rico Pacino. Wait, Rico from the West? Not my guy. My guy with the car wash. Salute. Well, you already know what it do. You know what I'm saying? I be outside. I don't know about y'all. Them the West Side Bloods out there. Yeah, I fucks with my nigga Rico. Solid on me. Soon as I got to Vegas. Yeah. Fresh bloody mosquito for you, Adam. Real. When when I be you, you go to bed, nigga. Always stick together and get up this busted. Don't let people distract you from the target. Fuck CS2 back. Right. Dude's got the content. Hey, listen, I got the content. Hold on. Who said that? Who was that said the dude's got the content? My nigga Ricky. Nigga Ricky said dude's got the content. Y'all thought it was a game. Y'all thought I was one of these cap niggas, bro. These niggas be on the neck capping. You dig? Do you dig what the fuck I'm talking about, nigga? Y'all see this? Electronically filed. The 9th of September, 2024. This was when Wack100 first filed the lawsuit. We're going to go through all of that. We're going to go through all of that. MediaLab, so y'all see what it is, the case number, the judge, Stefan P. Pfaffler, Department 68, a declaration of Brooke Noel in support of special motion to strike plaintiff's complaint. So this is a special motion and a declaration from Brooke Noel D. Royes in support of a special motion to strike Wack100's complaint claiming defamation of character from the WorldStar hip-hop video. Hey, listen, bro. See, you can fool some of the people some of the time. All of the people some of the time. But you can't never fool all of the people all of the time. You can fool them niggas on the East and Midwest, but in LA, you still haven't passed the test. Whack a rat. Facts. West Coast, stand up. Oh, real quick, we're gonna run the content that is just as big as this. Salute to Styles P, not only one of the greatest lyricists that ever walked the planet. That nigga been ill. You know what I'm saying? But he brought to light about Hocus 4/5, saying that he was dropping his flag, burying his bone, as they say in New York. He was dropping his flag. And they had a drop your flag challenge of New York so-called Bloods saying they no longer with it. That's some LA shit. They got food, etc., etc. Listen, bro, whatever you feel is going to make you stronger, cool. If you could drop your flag, then it was on you and wasn't in you from the get-go. Now, up under that flag, we still trying to stay. You understand these dynamics. So what is you going to do? You just laying all the way down? You never believed in the struggle? You never believed in really wanted to fight against oppression? Whether it was with the Nietas, the G26s, Latin King, whoever your generation fought with. I'm just saying. If it's on you, then it wasn't in you. Hey, Levi, go. Kicking my damn table with the laptop on. So we gonna get to this. So it's finally paperwork on them. Salute, King. So this is a motion to dismiss Wack100 lawsuit, calling saying that my documentary that went viral, 3 million views on WorldStar hip hop server, another 1 million views on YouTube server, and then they promoted it on all kind of other stuff. Duse, tell your moms take Phoenix off timeout. Hey, yeah, don't put Phoenix on timeout. Now, what we ain't gonna do, Lamonte, Eminem's get active, King. Shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom to the tribes of Israel. ETE, we running these YouTube streets. Hey, this is what we do. Hashtag ETE. So, look, before I get to reading this, because this shit gonna go viral, right? Y'all see we got the word. Shout out to my bro, most scandalous Los Angeles TV. I stress him out. He say that I run a slave plantation. He joined the union. Him and TD protesting against me. And I challenge his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? But my nigga, from the get-go, when they got off on me and they squatted up with the exposers, that nigga started helping me on YouTube. I didn't even know how to really StreamYard at the time. So, salute to my brother. Salute to Smoked Out TV, Simply Talking, whatever you want to call him, No Cap Network. Another brother. We bump heads. Men can agree to disagree. But that's another brother who's helped start the ETE. I think he the one that named it, Expose the Exposer. With belief in me, belief in my word, belief in my character, belief in my journalistic skills. I do journalistic research. You know what I'm saying? And they believe that what I do is differentiated on the internet because I hold myself to the highest of standard. We filing to get our media credentials as we speak. B. Ruth, Deuce, you cut the curls off already. Thought you was joining the braid gang. Hey, B. Ruth, get off me, bro. I was going to do it, but we got a wedding coming up, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a wedding coming up. Wack definitely running from this work, speaking about everything else. Usually he running and trying to spin. Yeah, Marlon Joe. Let me see all my good people in the chat. What up, Don Deuce? Nutso from the Rack in the building. Shout out to Shy Rack. You know what I'm saying? T Turner L. Salute to you, brother. The real Phoenix. I'll be outside with my gang. Get fly with that. Hey, more's a Mecca for sure. Show them the work, dude. Listen, I got the work. I talk to dog. Listen, my nigga. All of y'all that said, I don't believe the CS2 back stuff, Wack. All of the YouTubers. Oh, that's fake work. They proved it wrong. All of you niggas that didn't believe that this nigga wasn't no Pacoima Paru. This nigga wasn't what he claimed to be. This nigga was a federal informant. Content aside, how much intelligence do you think he has gathered up under all of these active gang members? Around all of these hip-hop industry guys. You ain't timed out because we seeing your comments, Phoenix J. You good. Hip-hop police, Chrissy Velasquez, salute. I'm here to hear this one. You didn't want to miss it. Hit that like button, man. Get the likes up. I got to read all of this. Maria says she going to bring me some coffee. Let me whistle. Let me wet my whistle. LA Shot caller up in the building. Hey, marsupial, bloody main fine. This nigga was a marsupial all along. Forget gang ties. They got court ties. Southern Forces in the building. Let me drop the thing for Southern Force. Southern Force be up here hanging out with me regularly, nigga. He become a staple. Very intelligent brother and very humorous. You know what I'm saying? So is that J Hood? J Hood? Is that not the police, please? So look, I dropped that. We done got to the bottom. Now we're gonna get to the bottom of this. So we'll start from the top. Declaration of Attorney Brooke Noel D. Royes. I, Brooke Noel D. Royes, declare as follows. I am attorney with the law firm O'Hagan Meyer, counsel of record for MediaLab AI Inc., defendant. So these are the defendants, MediaLab AI Inc. Remember, Wack kept saying, and we gonna play it. Media Labs LA. They say LA sometime, but it's AI, right? It's different corporations, but the major one is AI Inc. defendant. I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth in this declaration, and if called as a witness, could and would testify competently to such facts under oath. Declaration of Attorney Brooks. So she has filed a declaration in support for a special motion to strike Wack100's complaint claiming defamation of character. On July 8, 2024, plaintiff Cash McElroy Jones, pseudonym known as, first let me not be rude and welcome my guy, Southern Force. Salute to you, King. How you doing today?
Salute, brother. What's good? What's the deal, man?
Man, listen, we finna show our natural black ass. We finna show the fuck out tonight, bro. Listen, it's nasty work, nigga.
Ooh, I'm looking at it now, man, and even little bits and pieces of it. Golly, spread this decon on this nigga, man.
Oh yeah. So, hey Jay, if that is J Hood, I know your dad be mad at me because I call him a rat. It is what it is, and I understand that. But he told me the truth, bro. He told me the truth, at least as he knows it. And that's what I had asked him. So for that, I do want to salute him and that I appreciate him entrusting me with the truth. Let's get back to the content, though. So Cash Jones, pseudonym known as Wack100 plaintiff, filed a suit against defendant in Los Angeles Superior Court, case number, a true and correct copy of plaintiff's complaint. Complaint is here to attach is attached here too as Exhibit D. The complaint alleges that on or about January 27, 2024, that's the day I released the documentary, a documentary video entitled Wack100 Exposed for being an alleged federal informant documentary was posted to the WorldStar Hip Hop YouTube channel, the WorldStar Hip Hop YouTube complaint 15. 4. As a statement, the actual statement contained in the documentary at 0:13 seconds and 4:58 is, well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones, timestamp 00:13 and 4:58 documentary transcript. So what the attorney representing, hold on, let me free the goo over here. The attorney representing MediaLab WorldStar Hip Hop is going to Wack100's complaint and his arguments, which was that this was a defamatory, that Detective Michael Coet said that the only person they arrested was Cash Jones. This is what, let's go to the video. We'll show all of that after. Let's go. So for those who don't know, I gotta walk y'all through it. I got to. I can't be lazy. This one's too big. I can't assume that y'all know what's going on with the documentary. So we're gonna pull that up real quick. It shouldn't take that long. Hit that like button. If you're just coming in, we got the content. I'm Duse Sims, the Don. I represent with the Damu and Keyway Conversations, the podcast that helped formulate ETE movement, expose the exposers. You know what I'm saying? Bam. Oh, Duse Sims just clout chasing. Blase, blah. Oh, they mentioned Duse Sims in this, they definitely mentioned Duse Sims in this lawsuit and post my links as a reference in the case, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, where is the damn documentary? I don't see the damn documentary. Oh, I'm not on the right thing. Confidential source. Yeah, I don't see the original one. I think it's 11 minutes. Did I block that video or something? Oh no, here it go. Got it. Take a part and hit that like button. Let's get this up. Oh, they got the transcripts to this whole thing.
Dude that spoke on Shaq is completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack100 most famously.
So that's what they just quoted. They're trying to get the case dismissed. And this is why they're finna explain to you why. But that's the first part they cite, because he's saying that was defamatory, right? So we're going to get back to the work. The documentary is ready for different parts. Let's get to it. So as to statement 1, the actual statement contained in the documentary at 0013 seconds and 4:58 is, well, first of all, there was no arrest made other than Cash Jones. Timestamp 13 seconds and 4 minutes 58 seconds. Documentary transcript page 2, line 10 and 11. There's a transcript in here. I have it, of this whole documentary, because they're utilizing and breaking down my documentary as part of this civil suit. Hey, listen, my nigga, as to statement number 2, the actual statement contained in the documentary at 3:35 is Stutterbox alleges that Wack100 was caught on a wiretap to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police as back. Who back? Ain't no back. I don't know no back. Hey, as back. This was Stutterbox alleged. We said that Stutterbox alleged it. I couldn't confirm it, but it made a lot of sense. Nigga, you was still working for Deja 34 record label, Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens as security for Ray J. You're an employee. So you still are an employee for that record label, and they interviewed everybody at the record label. Ray J, DJ K Slay, Shaquille O'Neal. They interviewed him at USC in the Gallon Center, and Money Mark Stevens. And this officer that says the only one arrested was Cash Jones is the one that arrested him. That was the one that interviewed everybody, right? As to statement 3, the actual statement contained in the documentary at 5:48 is, was this back also referred to as confidential source number 2? Response, yes, sir, correct. Timestamp at 5:48, documentary transcript, page 8, lines 3-5. So that's Money Mark Stevens. I asked him, was this back also referred to as CS2 back? And he said, yes, sir, correct. So Wack is saying that's defamatory. As to statement number 4, the actual statement contained in the documentary at 22 seconds is, Jones has been exposed as a confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defendant Money Mark and Stutterbox. Timestamp, 22 seconds. Documentary transcript, page 2, lines 12-15, right? 8, as to statement number 5, based on review of the documentary and the documentary transcript statement, number 5 does not appear in the documentary. So Wack100 listed some stuff, his attorneys listed some stuff in the complaint arguing defamation that is not in the documentary. We got the transcripts. So that's one of the reasons that they secured the transcripts to prove that they were also lying, adding on stuff that wasn't stated. Number 9, as to statement 6 reflected an accurate transcription of the statement published in the documentary at 10:18. A true and correct copy of the video documentary identified in paragraph 4 of Daniel Cotton's declaration in support of defendant's motion to strike is contained on a USB flash drive and lodged with the court. Babe, please. A true and correct copy of the certified transcription of the video documentary identified as Exhibit C in the declaration of Daniel Cotton, filed concurrently in support of defendant's motion, is attached here too as Exhibit E. We got that also. We got that also, right? So, number 11. On February 5th, 2024, plaintiff Wack100 and his estate personally appeared in a video entitled Wack100 Responds to WorldStar Video Accusing Him of Snitching. The reaction video posted to the No Jumper Clips YouTube channel, NJCY YouTube channel. Oh, we gonna get in the new No Jumper. We gonna get into how much the No Jumper Clips, not even the No Jumper with 5 million, their Clips channel makes per month. The range, right? As well as they doing like 2 million streams weekly on just the No Jumper Clips. Do y'all understand how much money that is? But anyway, 12. The No Jumper Clips YouTube channel has approximately 756,000 subscribers and more than 2 million views per week on average. Averaging 2 million a week just on shorts clips. A true and correct sample printout of No Jumper Clips YouTube stats, summary profile, Social Blaze stats, attached here to as Exhibit F. We got that also, right? The subscriber and view metrics are also located at the following URL, http Social Blade YouTube No Jumper Clips. We're gonna make sure that we gonna make sure that when we go to that, we'll just see it in the exhibits. We're not going to that now. A true and correct copy of the reaction video is located at following URL. This is to the No Jumper channel with the 5 million viewers. Wack100 up there with T Money for Mansfield Crep. And they're discussing this with Adam. Well, Adam is discussing it with them. 14, a true and correct copy of the certified transcription of the reaction video is attached here too as Exhibit G. G is in gangster. 15, in the reaction video, plaintiff, which is Cash Jones, talked at length with the No Jumper Clips host and other show participants about the documentary video that was posted to the WorldStar Hip Hop YouTube channel 10 days earlier, right? So I released the video January 27, 2024. By February 2nd, Wack100 had the cease and desist filed to YouTube by his attorneys, claiming that it was defamatory, and then they ended up filing a suit later down. But 10 days after I released it, No Jumper is up there confronting Wack100 about these allegations. I can't say confronted because he definitely just let Wack take whatever narrative he wanted to take, but that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That shows your journalistic skills. Even worse, the lack thereof. So Adam Graham Mason doesn't push therein. Plaintiff stated that he is a public figure in relation to documentary. So when people don't realize, whether you like it or not, I'm a fucking public figure. Whether you want to disagree with me or not, Wack100 is a trademark name and is a public figure by right of podcast, by right of record label, by right of notable manager. I'm a public figure. Reaction video timestamped at 3:04. Reaction video transcript page 5 through 6, lines 22 through 25, 1 through 2. So Wack, dumbass, not understanding the law, then claimed 4 days after my documentary was up there that it was defamatory, and that he's not a public figure is the win on No Jumper, and he's telling and admitting he's a public figure. See, public figures are able to be reacted to because they're public figures. You know what I'm saying? So this is some nasty work that he's so dumb with his big ass mouth trying to run the play to get some money, and his big ass mouth then got him caught up, right? So let's get to this. In the reaction video, plaintiff publicly stated, when I seen it go on WorldStar, I said, let it get to 1 million, because the more views it has, it means the more damage is done. Reaction video, timestamped at 2 minutes, 49 seconds. Reaction video transcript is up. This is said on page 5, lines 16 through 19. Here we go again. You just can't keep your big mouth shut, rat boy. The Wack boy, really the rat boy. The nigga rat so much, he rat on himself, you dumbass bozo. This nigga is slow, bro. So insecure. Napoleon complex. Trying to prove himself at 50. Nigga. 17. In the reaction video, plaintiff publicly stated, when I hit my legal beagle, they was like, oh shit, we know they didn't do this. I said, yo, let it rock out. Reaction video, timestamped at 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Reaction video transcript, page 6, line 4 through 6. Plaintiff's legal beagle refers to his attorneys identified in the video as Sing and Sing, counsel of record for plaintiff in this matter. So you didn't show Adam the lawsuit, the play that you done ran with Sing and Sing. Y'all lying about what's being said in the video and all of this shit, right? But you're running your big mouth again. You tell him that you said, let it rock out. If you were concerned about damages, then why would you try to scam it out and say, leave it up there so more people can see? You tried to rock this out so you can spin a narrative that you were not a confidential source to back. 18. In the reaction video, plaintiff publicly stated, I could have got that shit snatched down on day one. No, let's let people get it. Talk about it. Other blogs grab it. Share it. Because my team is tracking everywhere it goes. Reaction video. Timestamped at 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Reaction video transcript. Page 6, line 16 through 20. So now they got the dumb nigga talking about he wants it to spread. He's benefiting off of the notoriety, and so that he could claim defamation. So on August 30th, 2024, MediaLab filed his pleading responsive to the complaint, denying all allegation and asserting affirmative defenses. A true and correct copy of defendant's answer is attached here too as Exhibit H. We got that also. Despite plaintiff's allegation of defamation, the statements at issue in the instant case were contained in nearly identical prior video posted by a completely unrelated YouTube channel on November 22nd, 2023, more than 2 months before publication date in this suit. Shit. I'll be outside with my gang. So now let's see what y'all see what's going on. Let me see. We got to get interactive. I hope y'all follow what that. Let me break this part down and then we can see what y'all talking about, right? So 20 is saying, despite Wack claiming defamation, the statements at issue in this lawsuit were contained in nearly identical prior video, posted by a completely unrelated YouTube channel on November 22nd, 2023, more than 2 months before publication date in this suit, right? You want to know what publication that was? November 22nd, 2023? It was Channel BLK. Oh, shit. Channel BLK, you gonna say you published that too? Hold on, we gonna show the video, man. The date was November 22nd, 2023. I think we published that on Zesty 280's YouTube channel, right? Let me see. It might have been the one on mine. Hold on. It's definitely my video, right? So we gonna say, so we gonna see what this say. We gonna see what this say. Boom. Hit that like button, man. Oh, yeah, I think that one is. Hold on, let me see what date this was. Oh, yeah, we posted it on both our shit. They said November what? Let me see. They said November 22nd. And this one is November 25th. So, yeah, it was on mine. Let me go to mine. I found it already, but that's on the UOD one. Boom. Remember, y'all got to remember, Zesty 280 is in the original video with me, bro. Zesty 280, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Zesty 100. He even went over there stuck in an eggplant, man. The game cold, man. Niggas don't got loyalty. Niggas is weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to 3-part. Let's get to part 1. Where's part 1? That's part 3. I think this one might be identical. What they say, boom. This date is November 21st. What date they said? November 22nd. Okay, well, here go my posting right here. We got it. Yeah. Let's get to it, man.
Our agency is very supportive of the females in leadership
Hey,
here.
listen,
We have a
get
lot
your
of
popcorn. Wait. Y'all see what that say? Active Chucks, nigga. The video is Active Chucks. Down on the keyway conversation. With the UOD.
Yo, it's Duff for the Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again, you dig?
Wack100, most famously known.
So, there it goes. This dates line up. The first publication, Wack100. Why you ain't sued Duse M? I'ma sue Mark Stevens. I'ma sue Duse M. Let's get to the chat, man. I know my people, they going crazy in the chat. Wax ad-lib, Reggie statement, Lovejoy's 911 call, Platinum Snitch record. Now, these niggas is tripping. Neezy Cobb, salute. Cockwalk, no doubt. We finna get this work. I guess WorldStar finally found out who the original submitter of the documentary, Deuce? The doc is their winning hand. Listen, the documentary published before that documentary is the winning hand. They saying Duse M's already published this, but you ain't suing Duse M. Wack's lips are moving. He's lying. Wack is a federal agent, officer of the year. Bro, I told y'all that the nigga was a confidential source, bro. 137. Nigga, and the nigga so sharp. Nigga sharp as a porcupine quill, nigga. Nigga, I peeped it. Niggas moving funny. Y'all gotta watch how these niggas is moving, bro, because they tell you and show you who they is. That's how we started the exposers. You know what I'm saying? Common sense shit. Superfly, what's up, man? All right, we finna go to back to the work. I got to work. Nigga came on the internet trying to run everybody's work because he knew one day this was gonna come out, and he gonna list all the niggas that ratted to try to justify. You know he got to deflect. But Box told on me, Paru, blood walked in the court, told him Cash Jones. So look, so the 3-part video is located at the URL Duse M's Wack100 CS2 back hip hop police, right? So, oh yeah, that was hold on, I think hold on, let me see this. Yeah, that's the other one. That's the other one, 29. All right, so bam. And Wack100 CS2 back hip hop police part 3. So they got it. 3-part video, nigga. 3-part video, nigga. Y'all want to see the 3-part video? Well, y'all know what it is, nigga. It's on my page. Go run that shit up. Go run that shit up. The chart below details the similarities between the statements made in the video posted in November 2023. We cracking right now, babe. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We got the work on CS2 back on the WorldStar video, my WorldStar video. So they cited it in the what you call it. They said that it's true. That it's truthfully, what they say, substantially truthful. Substantially dismissed in the interest of justice, nigga. But anyway, thank you again, babe. Maria over there laughing at me. She know I'm putting her on blast in front of 350. You know what I'm saying? Boina was black and blood. Hey, they don't press play, they press charges. Miss Keita to you. Hey, listen, y'all know this is going crazy. Hey, look, Channel Black's up in here. Hold on. Come on. I'ma send this to you. I'm gonna send this to you since you clout chase me all the time. Since you the copycat serial killer on YouTube. Whatever I do, you follow and put your name on it. That nigga really you like my shadow, bro. Channel Black. And can't do no YouTube views like that though. I think he got like 100,000 YouTube views, 150,000. They gotta do that a month, dead on him.
I got a question.
Yeah.
All right. So when he tried to file a motion to suppress evidence and it denied it, the real reason why they denied it is because they like this. Hey, you try to suppress this evidence, you don't get no deal. But if you go back where you came from, give us an interest of justice, you can come back to Texas and get it dropped.
Right.
Okay.
As long as you work with them. Mike B just here loving the vibe and to see Due shine. You know, hey, Jerry Griffin, man, I really appreciate that. You and Mike B, bro. That support is impeccable, bro. Y'all know that. Don't think I forgot about y'all. But let's get back to the work. So, actual statement in the documentary. 2, look how they break it down. Actual statement in the documentary. Stutterbox alleges that Wack100 was caught on wiretap to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police as back. When it says alleges and that Stutterbox alleges, that's a true, accurate description of what happened. Stutterbox alleged that Wack was caught on a wiretap to commit murder. Y'all can't prove otherwise. This man says that his Rolls Royce was shot up with him and his wife in it. I think he said 17 shots, bro. Ask Jay Hood about that. That's something that even passed on to his child life resonates in the back of his mind. We found out from Robert Ross, also known as Stutterbox. This is the November 23, the original video I put out. We found out from Robert Ross, also known as Stutterbox, a Main Street Mafia Crip and Wack100's neighbor, that Wack100 of CS2 back got his house raided for getting caught on a wiretap on a conspiracy to commit murder. Timestamp 7 seconds, right? So that's showing the differences between my original three-part long documentary and the short WorldStar documentary. 3, was this back also, this is on the WorldStar hip hop video, was this back also referred to as confidential source number 2? Response, yes, sir, correct. Timestamp 548, documentary transcript, page 8, line 3 through 5. Was this back also referred as confidential source number 2? Response, yes, sir. So why aren't you suing Duse M, Wack100? Jones has been exposed as confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defendant Money Mark and Stutterbox. Jones has been exposed as a confidential informant according to paperwork produced by his co-defendants, Robert Ross, also known as Stutterbox, and Shaquille O'Neal's business partner, Money Mark Steven. Wack100. Wack Jones confirmed as confidential source. First up is Stutterbox. This is my video, the longer one. The man at the center of the wiretap on which Wack100 is exposed as a confidential source. I'm saying the exact same thing, the exact same message, with the exact same sources of this information that I provided in a documentary, right? And you can listen to Channel Black, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna come up here. He's a coward. He's an internet coward, ain't from our community, and I think he's a fed. He works with CS2 back. CS2 back trademark Death to the Cloud Chaser, which he was an employee, often not paid employee. You know, that's the 100 EBT side. They do work and don't get no money. I paid that little boy to edit that video. I gave him the facts. He was able to digest this enough as a work for hire. And Active Chucks Entertainment owns that content. You understand what I'm saying? So you might not like to say that I'm a businessman. You might not like to say that. But the fact of the matter is, you said Wack was a good businessman. You went into business with Wack. And where did that get you? After he stole y'all company. So, Exhibit D. So this is, I declare under penalty. Listen to this. This is standard for any kind of legal filing or declaration of statement, right? I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct and is within my personal knowledge. Executed this 9th day of September, 2024 in Woodland Hills, California. Declaration of attorney Brooke Noel D. Royes in support of a special motion to strike plaintiff's complaint. They're getting rid of the complaint electronically filed. This is to Wack100's attorneys, Sing, and Charbin, these high-power Beverly Hills attorneys that this nigga Wack was bragging on, that tried to bamboozle and hoodwink the people. They weren't that smart. Y'all on the wrong side of history, my nigga. This ain't a good look. Even dealing with CS2 back, he's a scammer, bad for business, right? And then even trying to run the play when y'all knew it was up there and left it up there like y'all didn't know that it was up there. And later complain and argue in a complaint that it was defamation per se. Here's Wack100's, a copy of Wack100's attorney's complaint right here. This is what they filed. Plaintiff Cash Jones, by through and his undersigned counsel, hereby sues defendants MediaLab AI and those 1 through 20 inclusive collectively defendants and alleges as follows. Plaintiff Jones is an individual residing in Los Angeles County, California. Now, I just want to bring something back to y'all, right? Remember he said he was not a resident of the state of California, that he was been a resident of the state of Oklahoma, so they couldn't get him for the guns that they found when they raided his house. You can't put them guns on me. I told y'all that, man. Let me go over here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all this real quick. See, hit that like button. If I'm going to be cooking for y'all, the least y'all could do, hit that like button. We ain't even got no super chats or no cash apps yet. Maybe I did and just didn't see because I'm over here working, right? So I'm finna find this CS2 back. Oh, this is nasty work. Hey, I've been reaching out to the MediaLab attorneys to get my money and to give them all of the evidence they need to prove that it was true. Even after this, new evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Let me see, where the hell is that shit at? I'll find it right now. He said he had to work. That nigga is crazy. Okay, here it go. It should be here. They better not have took it off. All right, here it go.
Box, what you need me for? Oh man, nigga, just get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit.
Let's start this over. This go give me a chance
to break down
from reading. Let's start it over.
When you know you didn't voluntarily told on 7 people and it's documented, right?
Yeah.
It's a movie by it. There's no way that you got anything to say about anybody.
Look at Key Money up there, Dick.
I've been looking for what they talking about.
You killing with the answer.
I know the nigga. That nigga ain't that type of nigga. He don't sit down and do interviews and He didn't do that kind of show. He went bad. He damn sure ain't gonna do it now. That ain't him.
Yeah, that nigga, I guess it looked like a live or something he did. He went live and I guess they started uploading it to YouTube from his Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta go find. He wants some money, send me a text. At least once a month.
Yeah.
I know the nigga.
He talking about
see, I don't even, that might not be the same person then, man.
Bro, listen, you ever watch Unsolved?
Yeah.
Okay. The nigga from Uncle Jerome.
Yeah.
Snowfall.
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
the scene where Uncle Jerome pulled up in the Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
And he went into police and started telling about a nigga that's moving dope on the trucks.
Yeah.
And remember they went and showed him putting a tracker on the truck and they pulled the nigga over and all he had was magazines in the back?
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome is Stutterbox and the nigga in the truck is Wack. That really happened.
Man.
It's a book, actually, nigga. Look, I'll PTR. It's a book called Murder Rap by Greg Kading. So you go to the chapter called
Omani, what up?
You're gonna see a picture of me, him, Suge. The police that all these snitches work for, when he retired, he exposed them all. Keith the cop and Crip. He exposed all his informants. So that's the picture in the book in my PTR. That's that one. That's that my brother. Me, Suge, got Stutterbox to the left. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the chapter called Stutterbox, they gonna break down everything he did. And out of nowhere, he came in, gave us this man's name, told us he had a trucking company. If you want to get the Suge, you got to go through him. He moving cocaine and dope from here to there. They spend $300,000-$400,000, nigga, with wires, tracking devices, all kind of shit. They came into my crib.
Killing with the answer.
I lost a dog that day. My dog Wacko, one of my bulls. When they hit the back gate He locked on the nigga. They had to shoot the nigga like 7-8 times.
Man.
Kill him. He came in, cuffed my wife. It was like 40 agents, my nigga. And couldn't find shit. Had to walk up out of here.
David,
he sent them. He had them on me. They thought they were gonna find something in the house. He didn't find nothing. I still didn't know.
He said they didn't find
tell you what I knew what time it was.
Now, in a minute, you're gonna say they
did.
did.
Come in, they hit my home office. They were searching about 18 minutes. When they got to the home office, dude called the search off. Because one of the reasons why they went in front of the judge, they filed some shit called living beyond my means.
This whole last statement is also in the evidence, cited in the evidence to prove this dumbass nigga, confirming everything that I had edited into the video, all of the lies. That we're gonna get to that right after this. I just want y'all to hear when he says, "I don't live there. I've been an Oklahoma resident." I bring that up. It falls on flat ears. But I knew. That's all that mattered. Nigga can't tell me, let's go.
Which kind of supported their probable cause, along with their confidential informant that they paying. He's a reliable source. So they watching the lifestyle. So when he come into the crib and he hit the home office, he sees, well, actually, let me rewind. On paper, Cash Jones make 30, 40,000 a year. That's it. As a Social Security number, I don't make no money. So they looking at everything and they like, this don't add up. But what they failed to do was run everything. So when they hit that home office and they seen all these different corporations and they seen these cars under this corporation, these houses under this corporation, this under this, he then knew everything was justified on my side, right? Because like even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a corp. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a corp. Whatever I do is I'm operating up under a corporation. So they take my files, uncuff my wife. They take her. She had 2 guns, legal guns in her name.
How many
in the
guns?
Crib. They take those.
In the chat, real quick. Let me get to the bottom. How many guns did they have? Did y'all just hear Southern? Did you just hear how many guns they said they had?
I definitely did, man. It's just some nasty work.
He said 2 guns.
Happy.
So he said 2 guns. After we do this, I'm gonna play Detective Greg Kading saying that it was 1 gun. They only found 1 gun, and the gun was in his wife's father's name. So they're saying he's finna say that it was 2 guns and they were his wives. Snitching on her. Pay attention though. Y'all missed all of this. I used to break it down and y'all just didn't want to hear.
Call my attorney. We go down to the federal building off of Wilshire and Sepulveda, whatever that shit is down there. Now this one I knew what time it was. When I go up to the 50th or 60th floor, nigga, we come out the elevator, nigga. Ain't nothing but FBI flak jackets walking around this. About 2 months, maybe about a month or 2 prior to this happening at my crib, Stutterbox invited me to this spot called Stevie's on the Strip, soul food restaurant. So when I get there, there's 2 females in.
Salute. Let's hit that like
2
button.
females there, right? Now, most people move a certain way. I'm really an eyeball type of nigga. Wack don't do, I ain't off into. So when I get there, it's him, it's 2 chicks at the table. I sit at the table. What up, Box? What you need me for? Oh, man, nigga, just, get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit. 2 women, 2 of my homegirls, this, that, and other. I said, oh, okay, yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? About 5 minutes, he said, I'm finna go to the bathroom. When he go to the bathroom, the chick start popping. She telling me she from New Orleans. She came out here to meet with this nigga. This bitch ass nigga and answer his phone. She come out here every month to buy 5 keys, all this shit, right? So when she talking, I'm looking at the bitch, right? Bitch bad. So when Box come back, I tell him I gotta go to the bathroom. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of making the left, I make a hard right to valet. I get on up out of there.
You chilling with the answer.
Right? When I got to the 60th floor, T-Money.
60th floor.
Guess who I saw the FBI flak jacket? The bitch.
That's crazy.
Right? So I say, damn, that's the same bitch. So by now my antennas go up like, damn. I'm saying this nigga box with a fed and don't even know
Ain't
it.
no
This
Duse
I still
Cannon,
ain't know what time
Duse
it is. Right?
Sims, get that
So
right.
we get into the conference room. They got like 7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him. All this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations. He like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking.
We got your client. We still got your client on 2 different situations.
Out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms.
We found firearms in the house. Plural. Remember that.
Right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms and such and such. I said, well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life. He said, well, they registered to your wife.
The guns is registered to his wife, and he's saying he don't live there.
I said, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, that's your wife. I said, okay, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003.
So he's been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003, right? Remember that. This is why he did it. They found 2 guns. The guns registered in his mama name. See, this the type of shit that got him caught up running his mouth in Wheeler, Texas. Wheeler County, Texas, with them guns. You know what I'm saying? When he nervous, he
Texas. Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. But shut the fuck up. Okay, Boogie Brown. And present evidence. Okay, CW said F. Paru and called you a slob and said you were looking up to him. Agent versus agent, rat versus rat. Well, I don't think CW even know who I am. And the fact that this Wack thinks he's the smartest criminal. Yeah, but remember those facts. And then I want y'all to remember this fact also. And then I'm going to go back. But he's been a resident of Oklahoma since 2000.
I got 13 houses on my portfolio. Which one you going to put me in various states? Right? I said, you see that? Commercial driver's license. I'm a truck driver. So you putting some guns on me that's in a California residence, but yet I pay Oklahoma state taxes? Help me understand it. Let that go. Second thing they had against me, they press play. Wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you. They got me on the phone.
So he admits that he was caught on the phone, that they tell him the second thing, they got him on guns and they got him on wiretap. Exact same thing that Stutterbox was saying. But back to oh yeah, we gotta show y'all the that he lying about. He said 2 guns. Now he brought, when I exposed the paperwork, he brought Greg Kading, and Greg Kading said it was 1 gun, and who the possession of the gun was her father. Hold on, let me play this clip for y'all. Clubhouse, please hold on 1 second.
To me was my home. Like, y'all really fucking looked into me.
Yeah, we did. We looked into you. We wiretapped you and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately, it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that.
Things happened to me with my home. Like, y'all really fucking looked into me.
There it go right
Yeah,
there.
we did. We looked into you. We
Who the gun belonged to?
and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately, it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that.
Things happened to me with my home.
One worn-out gun, and it belonged to his wife's dad, to Kim's dad, Cap. He was able to bring a deputized federal agent, LAPD officer, task force, the head of the task force. I think they wore DEA badges, right? Let me pause this real quick, and then I'm finna get to y'all right now. Hold on, let me mute up real quick. 1 second. All right, let me get to this real quick, right? Sorry, Clubhouse. Hit that like button. We got 400 people up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to this. So they lied about how many guns it was. I brought that up. Y'all ignored me, right? Y'all ignored me. It was crazy. Dead ears. You know what I'm saying? So Wack100, his lawyers signed a declaration here saying that Plaintiff Jones is an individual residing in Los Angeles County, California. They saying now he's an LA resident. Y'all didn't catch that? Nobody ever caught that? I thought he was a resident of Oklahoma since 2021. Y'all believe that? This nigga worse than the Young Thug on the phone. Yeah, he's way worse than Young Thug on the phone. He's putting niggas in jail. Well, I guess Thug was trying to do that too. So I don't know. How do you measure which rat is the biggest rat? So does 1 through 20, those 1 through 20 inclusive, are defendants whose identities have not yet been ascertained? They are individuals, partnerships, corporations, or some other business entity. On information and belief, each Doe defendant was somehow responsible for the damages caused in this case. As soon as the true identities and capacities of the Doe defendants have been ascertained, the complaint will be amended to reflect the true names and capacities of each Doe defendant. So the John Does who offended by exposing CS2 back, I'm definitely like one of them. But you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely one of them. Immortal. Salute to Debbie McLaughlin from Wheeler, Texas. Salute to Debbie, man. Debbie does that. CY said F. Paru called you a slob. Hey, Chaos, you're out of here, bro. You keep talking about some slob, disrespecting. You so corny, bro. Niggas that get on the internet gangbang, you're banned. We don't even want your kind ever around these parts again. This is the Damu and Kiwi conversation. This is a safe space from gang violence between the red, the blue, Bloods, Crips, GDs, Vice Lords, folks, Moes, you know what I'm saying? Blackstone. In order to sign off on a subpoena, there has to be evidence that a crime had been committed at that residence. Right. Or indicative that a crime they don't have to prove it at that point. It could be some kind of prima facie showing. So they said that they promised when they first filed this, that when they find out who the other John Does are, 1 through 20 that they promised that the complaint will be amended to reflect the true names and capacities of the Doe defendants, right? Which is also a lie, right? I got, where my photo at? I'm gonna post this letter from Sing and Sing, right? Wack100's attorney. Let me see if y'all can see this, right? Let me see if y'all can see this real quick. Hold up. Let me close this real quick. Boom. Can y'all see that? And this letter from Sing and Sing, that's their stamp paper. So they knew who I was. They knew that I was one of the, what you call it. So they're lying there again, right? That's Wack100's attorneys. They got my address and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that was cap. But we're going to go back to the content and read this. Let's go. So, jurisdiction and venue. In any kind of court filing a complaint, whether criminal and or civil, you have to establish that you have the jurisdiction in this court, that court had jurisdiction over the case. He did all of that. He made his general allegations. The allegations were Wack100 Jones was caught on a wiretap with Del Dog conspiring to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police. That's what Stutterbox alleged. Wack100 also referred to as confidential source number 2. You are CS2 back. We got Greg Kading admitting that was you on that call. Jones has, and Stutterbox said it, and so did Mark Stevens. Greg Kading, Stutterbox, Mark Stevens, all admit, and he even admitted that he was caught on that wiretap. So has been exposed as a confidential informant and paperwork recently released. Yeah, Mark Stevens got me the paperwork, nigga. Wack Jones confirmed as confidential source. He's definitely been confirmed as a confidential source. Both of the stories and the paperwork all came together like butt cheeks. Why would the FBI be calling a big-time gangster like Wack100 Jones to make sure he's okay, unless there is a relationship between two parties, which could have started when the felon was caught in Texas with firearms, right? Collectively, those are the defamatory statements. That's what his lawyer said. So we're going to get up off of all of those, right? One of the several videos of LAPD officer Greg Kading publicly debunking the defamatory statements. They put their credibility on Detective Greg Kading. Published at the latest on or around August 30th, 2022 can be found at, and then there goes the link. Defendant could have readily determined that the defamatory statements were completely untrue and only published the video to harm plaintiff Jones. So this is what he argues. Let's get past all of that. Right. Let's get past this. We're not going to reread his complaint. Bam. Demand for jury trial. So he act like he want to go to trial. Oh my God. We definitely got to get down first though. So here goes Exhibit A, right? Exhibit A. This is WorldStar Hip Hop. This is the video. Official channel. When I released it, it went on WorldStar Hip Hop's server page.com. It went on their YouTube page. It went on their Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, Snapchat, Spotify, everything, right? Marketing machine, right? Exhibit B. Here's the letter from Wack100's attorneys. Remember that letter I just showed y'all? Y'all see the same signal, symbol, logo? They got some nice paper with the gold symbol on the upper left-hand side on mine. This look like it's in the middle. Let me put this, let me show y'all this again. Boom. Y'all see the symbol? Okay, confirmation. So they did know where I was at. But anyway, let's get back to the content. So this is Exhibit B. I believe this was Exhibit B. Boom. So this is the letter to Media Labs from Wack100's attorneys. Boom. Exhibit E, Media Lab, defamation matter. The transcript of the video recording, file name, Wack100 exposed for being an alleged federal informant. The documentary. Let's talk about it. We get into it. This dude brought down death row with that in-house snitching, or enough there is to issue a subpoena. So I live okay, but I'm going to set up LA politics for growth on payroll. You know what I'm saying? Mac Mean, true story, active Chucks. He don't do interviews, he do interrogations. This is crazy that a cop is interviewing on Clubhouse about your case. Facts, cash, perjury. There was enough evidence of a crime committed for a magistrate judge to issue a federal subpoena. Fact. His favorite show, Law and Order. Hey, Ricky, Deuce, Greg was laughing when CS2 Back introduced him because he knew what CS2 Back was doing. Well, no, he was laughing because Wack introduced him as the lead investigator of the Main Street case. And he wasn't the lead, he was the lead of the task force. And the leads for the Main Street case were both ODM Slim down there. Hold on. Let me pull my brother up, man. Stream that shit too, ODM Slim. Shout out ODM Slim show. Been rocking with me the whole time. We bump heads. You see that big old peanut ass head? Nigga, of course we bump heads, but that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta see everything eye to eye. I'm so proud of his growth, that he's still free out here. He's still alive. Salute to that brother, man. So I just dropped the link, ODM Slim. So if you want that, you want to come up, you already know. Okay, bam, there you go.
What's happening?
What's happening? This is some nasty work, brother.
Hey, I was waiting for this to come out. Wait,
salute, bro.
You know how salute, bro. You know how it's one day everybody get them saying, everybody get their day in court, man. It's his turn.
Yeah, yeah. And I got that stream. You can stream to your people too. ODM Slim, make sure you do that.
I stream with people.
Oh, you don't know how to do it.
I don't do this. I don't do this right here, man. I don't be on this shit.
You don't do StreamYard?
Hell no.
Okay. You just go straight through YouTube.
No, I do the Streamlabs OBS and shit. I do the OBS shit.
Yeah, I do got the deed proving he lived there. But look, let's go to this real quick, right? We're going to get off of this and get. So this is the filing evidence for my documentary on Wack100's lawsuit. It's exhibit defamation letter. This is exhibit E, right? Wack100 exposed for being an alleged federal informant documentary. Transcribed by Terry Nestor, CSR number 5614, RPR CRR job number 6908544, right? So Wack100, when it first started off, he says he talking to the sheriff. This Deshaun's first cousin. I didn't know that Deshaun, I think, is Pooh Rider, Phoenix, Messi. Salute, G homie. is Deshaun Purata?
Yeah, Deshaun Lucas.
Okay, Deshaun Lucas. And then he got a sheriff relative.
Yeah, that'd be Dante Scarborough.
Okay. So he has Purata had a cousin or a relative that's a sheriff. So that's who he was talking to at the beginning of the documentary. And he said, call me. All right. Then y'all seen the documentary and it goes word for word on transcript to prove exactly what was said during the whole shit. When we got up to the top floor and we went to go get my personal belongings, me and my attorney, when I saw the two women with the FBI flak jackets come up, that stutter box would always invite to dinner when we was eating at Stevie's on the Strip. That's when I knew what time it was. So they got that in all of the whole thing for the documentary. We're going to go past that evidence to get back to the thing. But we're going to make sure we publish that also, more than likely on activechuck.com. Look for me to do it first thing in the morning when I get on with the team. Here's the certificate declaring that it's true by Terry Nestor, that she transcribed it. This is even the whole conversation, every word that was said, brief, bro, brother, bug, building, bunch, bureau, all of, and it tells you what page those words were used. That's something that they do in law. You know what I'm saying? We get past all of that. Oh, we exhibit F. So this is No Jumper Social Blade, No Jumper's numbers. Remember they talked about the No Jumper clips where he couldn't keep his mouth closed? Well, No Jumper clips have done over 507 million views off of our coach. This is No Jumper clips. 507 million views. They $500 million exploiting black culture. Y'all know how much money that is?
Chili Baba, nigga.
This is just their clips. I mean, their subscribers on the No Jumper clips, nigga. And they're doing estimated monthly earnings 2,000 to 35,000 just off the clip. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think, I'm quite sure they're getting paid through corporate sponsorship for certain views, amount of views, etc. And it got all of the different stuff. It's on all the major platforms, podcast, Spotify, Apple, where it does numbers there also. So now they cite in Exhibit G. It goes into the No Jumper video where Wack100 and T Money was on there. So I'm finna play that right now.
Play that. For sure. Fuck Wack100. I was waiting for this. Nigga.
No Jumper.
I'm about to give me a shot, nigga, on the hood.
It's nigga. You ain't
Drop
got
some
no
bombs on them dudes.
Let me see. Oh no, I'm gonna go Wack100 WorldStar Hip Hop.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta put. Wack100 WorldStar Hip Hop Snitch. That should come up. Oh yeah, there it go.
There it go. Snitch ass.
So this is the evidence that they got also transcribed in the civil lawsuit over the WorldStar Hip Hop video. Wait till we get to this lawsuit, y'all. I mean, the motion to dismiss.
Great.
Oh, I thought
hip
y'all
hop platform.
Hold on.
WorldStar Hip Hop. T Money, I wanted to ask you for some advice. The other day, I was just going through YouTube and I went to my favorite hip hop platform, WorldStar Hip Hop, and I got some bad news. I found out that my big homie, was talking to the cops.
Who's that? Who, me?
What do you think I should do, T?
Who's talking to the cops?
There was an AI voice. A compelling thumbnail.
Shout out to listen.
It's on a big platform.
Shout out to that post.
I took it at face value.
Yo, shout out to that post.
And I don't know what to do.
All right, so I think listen, I think with that advice, right? Again, right? So where we come from, if you say something, you have to have a point to prove it. You have to have the work. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have it, you better figure out how to go get it and find it. Again, that goes back to how we were saying when I say he says some things at the wrong time or whatever the case may be.
Boy, that's 5 million.
What's that? Like a lion, cuz.
Notice
Shout out to the whole chat,
defamation
man. My
and
bad,
demand.
y'all.
We would like to schedule a call for Thursday. Our deputy general counsel is out the remainder of the week.
Defamation of character.
We'd like to be sure.
5 million. Good looking out, bozos. You paid your out.
Who you suing? WorldStar?
Oh, no. WorldStar.
Okay, so no, listen.
WorldStar is owned by another media company.
Right. And you're going for them.
You see, in my world, I will never sue or never involve court with nobody from the streets.
Okay.
But if you are the Ritz or you are a corporation or a company,
okay,
I will fire your ass up. I have a law firm called Sing and Sing. That's not no
Didn't I call
problem.
you? You didn't want me to get no money or something? Because I called you about my defamation of character from the Rolling Stone magazine.
I never told you how to go and get it. From
Money
Rolling Stone.
talking
I don't
about
know. I wear the
Rolling
attorneys.
Stone said that he shot Suge Knight at the club. That they pointed and fingered him as that. So this is what he's talking about.
They're right there. You can go get them. We can still go get them.
I think it's too late.
No, it ain't.
No?
Fuck no. Oh, yeah, you right. You can go get them. Because let me tell you what they fucked up at. They stupid motherfuckers said.
Don't say it, because
they
don't
got
let them
me.
go
No,
think, well, I
listen.
guess you got to
Let me tell you these bozos did, Adam.
Tell me.
They went on this clip on WorldStar and said, I was a federal informant and that I caught on wiretap trying to get somebody killed. Now, these two things, right, are things that can be investigated. The wiretaps can be pulled and the investigative officers can be summoned to say, was this man a motherfucking federal informant?
Was that in the magazine?
Huh?
Was that
no, WorldStar.
Oh, okay.
Right? So when I seen it go on WorldStar, the team seen it, I said, no, let it get to 1 million, right? And let it cross over. Because the more views it has, that means the more damage is done.
1 million people have seen that video.
On WorldStar. Great, right? So what people don't realize, whether you like it or not, I'm a fucking public figure. Whether you want to agree with me or not, Wack100 is a trademark name and is a public figure by right of podcast, by right of record label, by right of notable manager. I'm a public figure, right? So when I hit my legal beagles, they was like, oh shit, we know they didn't do this. I said, yo, let it rock out. Because it's chestnut checkers, right? You get these gang members that's emotional and they say, let's do this to Wack, right? You always have to think about what you're gonna do to me. So now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna let it play out. We're gonna go high, settle in the middle. And then when I settle, then I'll post that on WorldStar and say, you stupid motherfucker, you just made your op a couple million. Who won? I'll lose 10 battles to win the war. I always tell people this. I could have got that shit snatched down day one. No, I'm going to lose these battles. Let's let people get it, talk about it. Other blogs grab it, share it, because my team, as you know, you have a team, is tracking everywhere it goes. On WorldStar, it just did 1 million, right? But when you combine everywhere it went, what all the comments said that's directed at me, right? All of that, when it hits the civil court, right, is the damage that was done.
Yeah.
It's notoriously hard to sue the media in America.
Yeah, see that.
No, it ain't.
No, listen.
Not when it got that badge on it, baby. It got that badge of WorldStar on it.
Who do you think put the bag up to have that posted, and who do you think made it?
Oh, that was Big Q that did it.
How
And
do you
this
know?
stupid motherfucker, let me tell you
How do you
this.
know?
I know because he got a contract with WorldStar. His first podcast ever,
Right.
they needed location. Who you think gave him the location? They were in a big-ass motorhome. Where you think it was at?
This was
in the
you?
back of my studio.
Okay.
He did OT Genesis, game, all that shit. That's when I knew he was doing his thing with
I
WorldStar.
did season 2. It never came out.
Right? No, because they don't do no fucking numbers or whatever. So this is what's going to happen. WorldStar is trusted, right? He called and get it put up because he emotional because we've been exposing his ratting, right? Now we got paperwork to his ratting, so it's different, right? So when he went and got that put up, WorldStar just trusted the dude. They put it up. Now this is what's gonna happen.
WorldStar
right?
just
I
trusted
seen it immediately.
the dude. They just put it up. Remember that when we get to reading this motion to dismiss, this nigga, and mind you, this is all these transcripts have been put in as Exhibit E. You know what I'm saying? Exhibit E, nigga. We got the work, nigga.
They say, oh no, let that shit up. Leave that shit up. Let that shit go. Let it get up there. When it hit 1 million, and then we got another 1 million plus collectively outside of it, that's when we go. Now that ain't no whack. That's legal shit. You know how that works. That's them Jewish people, right? They working. When they hit it, when the shit starts to get
copyright my shit.
When we go in for what we want and why we want it, they're gonna double back to this bozo and say, "Hey, bro, give us something to show that what you had us put up is real." He ain't gonna be able to provide that. When he's not able to provide that, then that company is gonna be forced to settle.
Like, I'll give you an example, and I do think what you're saying kind of makes sense. But when they're trying to prove that Trump intentionally stole the election, that is going to be a very, very hard case to make in court.
Totally different from this.
But because it's easy to imagine that Trump really did believe that the election was stolen from him, regardless of if it ends up being true or not. In this situation,
they made specific accusations. They pinpointed. They said, I got caught on wiretap trying to plot the assassination of another man. Right? That. So now you're saying I got murder for hire. Hey, brother, I'm a legal man. I got businesses. You can't put that shit on my name. Then you said I'm a federal informant. Listen, that's fucking with my character, people I do business with, right? So shout out to Reggie Wright. This is my secret weapon. Reggie Wright, ex-police. Everybody, all law enforcement that was on that case are Reggie's friends. So I called Reggie. I said, yo, Greg Kading's a relative dude. You got reach? Yeah. I said, okay, I need to talk to my legal beagles. Legal beagles get on the phone. They said, listen, tell us about this. He said, it's absolutely false. Wack100 was a target, not an informant. A guy named Stutterbox informed on him that he was doing something that come to find out he wasn't doing, right? We have all the documents and tape recordings, and this is why I'm glad. Because of this, now I can force the tape recordings of Stutterbox's voice telling on everybody to come out. This shit is helping me, right? He said, furthermore, right, if he would have been caught on wiretap plotting or conspiring to kill somebody, we would have booked his ass. But we have all the wiretaps, right, that we was listening to. So once my attorneys heard that, they like, great, right? So they signed him up. So he's already over there with him. WorldStar is going to go in and ask this bozo, what do you have to support this clip that we put up out of respect to you? Nothing's there. WorldStar at that point, or this media company that owns it, is going to be forced to settle. I'm going to go high, and I'm going to, you know, they know what it is. I got all the time in the world. I don't give a fuck.
What if you end up being the guy that finally takes down WorldStar?
No, I don't want to take down WorldStar. WorldStar's owned by a bigger company.
But obviously the bigger company is going to look at WorldStar if they end up having to come out of pocket and say, bro, you your bad leadership put us in this position. Because I can say that as a person who owns a YouTube channel, I do believe that there's like a different level of leeway that I get when somebody like Loose Cannon comes on here and makes explosive claims about somebody, because it's so obvious that this is a conversation and that I'm not necessarily buying in on what's being said. But that video felt a little different. It felt like editorial.
Said, listen.
Being posted on behalf of
MediaLab owns that, right? So that's ultimately going to take it. Loose Cannon gave a descriptive, right, of a phone call and a FaceTime he had, right? Which he has proof that he has it. All he says, he never said nobody had somebody killed. He just said, I got this call, was told this. I called, dude was still here. And then 30 minutes later, he wasn't. That's it. Now, whatever you take from that, you take from that. Brother, it's many bank robberies and jewelry store robberies and many all kind of shit that didn't happen that niggas in the street knew was gonna happen before it happened because a motherfucker was talking about what they was gonna go do. Right? Now, it ain't his job to go call and the police or the authorities. Now, maybe people would have thought that if this was the case, and we'll see, right? That if this guy, Nipsey, was supposed to be in Big U's, you know, a little brother, that maybe you'd have called and gave him a heads up. It is insinuating that you knew something was gonna happen. So why would you call?
So that's enough of that, right? So let's get back to the work. I got the work. We gonna get back to the work. Hit that like button. But all of that is in transcript. So instead of me reading all of that, there it go right there. I got some bad news. I found out that my big homie was talking to the cops. Let me show y'all that. I found out my big homie was talking to the cops. Hold on. Let me see what you think is so far, Southern Force, and then go ODM Slim. You go after him.
Well, first of all, the little dinner and stuff, he already knew that the lady was an undercover cop. They already briefed him. He tried to give me information, but the feds already knew, yeah, we already got such. Matter of fact, we got an undercover that's going to be dining with you guys and setting up a meeting. You set it up, They get to talking. He gets up. He goes to the quote unquote restroom, which really he turned around and said, okay, that's enough. They ain't got enough off this wire, and that's how that happened, right? Turn around. All this stuff about oh man, they had illegal search and seizure. Let me tell you something about Texas. Not happening. All that stuff that you're saying on there is true, because there's 3 types of deferrals in Texas. There's a deferral adjudicate, there's a deferral adjudication, and there's a deferral in the interest of justice. He chose that deferral in the interest of justice. That's why he was able to get let go. That's why he was up there in California. That's why he was telling all the people up there in the interest of justice to save his ass. Let's be clear. I'm gonna land on
Slim.
Shit, you know me, nigga. Fuck Wack100. I'm just listening, fool. I've been through this shit, you know what I'm saying? 2.5 years, we've been watching this shit go. You know, I've been knew he was a rat, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, you see more and more pieces of paper that's just confirm what you already believed, and nigga ain't nothing to do, no, just watch, nigga. No.
Right, I got you. So was it an AI voice, a compelling thumbnail? So this is the conversation we just seen. T-Money, Wack100. I'm sure y'all can see all that. I'm going to hit them for $5 million. Man, they finna quote all of this shit in the motherfucking motion, to special motion to dismiss the complaint. So we got to skip all of that because they make transcripts out of all of that. Then the transcript person who transcribed it, just like that wiretap I exposed, has to sign a declaration. There it go. Certificate, Terry Nestor, saying that she's a certified shorthand reporter. There go the same kind of signature as she did on the other one. And then the page is the words used within the transcript and what pages the words are on, and an accurate count of the words. And then bam, Exhibit H. So now this is the work. Clint D. Robinson, Brooke Noel D. Royes, O'Hagan and Myers in Woodland Hills. Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles Central District defended MediaLab Inc.'s answer to the plaintiff's unverified complaint. This is it. To all parties and their attorneys of record, defended MediaLab AI Inc. defended for themselves and for no other hereby respond to plaintiff Cash M. Jones, pseudonym known as Wack100, plaintiff unverified complaint as follows. Pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure Section 431.30, defendant generally and specifically denies each and every allegation stated against them in the unverified complaint and denies that plaintiff is entitled to the relief sought in the complaint or to any relief at all. Nigga, we're not guilty of none of that. We deny all of it, and you're not entitled to no relief. As for affirmative defenses, defendant alleges as follows. So now WorldStar bombs first, nigga. They retaliate, spin the block, nigga. Affirmative defenses, first affirmative defense, failure to state a cause of action. So they're saying one of the reasons this should be dismissed is because the complaint fails to state a cause of action upon which relief may be granted, right? Second affirmative defense, substantial truth. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part because statements allegedly made by or attributed to the defendant, which is WorldStar Hip Hop. The statements that y'all saying are allegedly made by WorldStar Hip Hop were substantially true. Y'all didn't get that? Let me read that again. This is the clip for all the YouTubers. This is the clip. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part because statements allegedly made by the WorldStar video that he claimed were defamatory were substantially true, and defendant had reasonable grounds for believing the truth of the statement. They have reasonable grounds for believing that Wack100 is CS2 back, a federal confidential source for the sheriffs, Detective Michael Coed and Paul Fournier, who worked with the Joint Task Force, Greg Kading and Darren Dupree. The statements made saying that he was confidential source 2 back were substantially true, and we standing on. This is what WorldStar talk about. That, oh, I'm going high. They already trying to settle out. Stop lying, nigga. Stop lying. WorldStar said we don't owe you a dime. We owe you no damages because what's stated in the documentary you're blaming me for, nigga, were substantially true, nigga. And they had reasonable, what's the term they use? They had reasonable grounds for believing the truth of the statements in the documentary. Oh, this is nasty work. All these niggas harboring these rats. Hey, Cuban zirconium, nigga. You still riding with that rat? Till that rat eats your cheese, nigga. All you niggas that's riding with this rat on the 100 EBT side, running lies and false narratives, the defendant, the statements made by the defendant or attributed, they're blaming WorldStar for the video, not me, even though they know it's my video, because they know I got everything I need to prove it. So they try to attack WorldStar, assuming WorldStar wasn't going to get their hands on them longer videos and know that this came out before the WorldStar viral video. You had the Duse M videos released in November. We didn't release the WorldStar hip hop video to January 27th. So, and that was the short version. We know y'all ain't finna sit and listen to that long ass shit. Y'all motherfuckers hate that shit. Y'all attention span short as hell. That's conspiracy, fool. If it was planned and it never happened, that's still a crime. As long as they committed one overt act. Big Messy Mars said, what it do, young brother, ODM Slim?
So what?
Big Messy Marv in the chat said, what it do?
What's my boy? That's my guy, man. Where Messy at?
He down in the chat, man.
In YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't seen him. Where you at? Where Messy at? I gotta turn YouTube chat on.
Let me go to it right there. Big Messy Marv.
That's my boy, man. What's up, Meth? Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
My
Shout
boy,
out
Meth.
to Pacoima's, a real Pacoima's in the building.
Real Pacoima Paru, nigga. Fuck nigga talking about. Fuck these other niggas. The booty cheek man.
3-finger back.
Backward booty cheeker. He got that Guatemala BBL. I call it Guatemala BBL. That motherfucker inflate by itself.
The real Ratatello.
He got the air tube to it. His shit get pumped up and off. You know, he get pumped himself automatic. He got a manual BBL.
Ratatello at his finest, man.
That nigga told Flacco where to get the BBLs from. You heard Flacco say, he said, Wack told me where to get everything at. Where to get the lipo for the cheap ad and all that.
So
goddamn no. Wack get the BBLs done.
Facts. So let's get back to this. Everybody was waiting on it. So we said substantially true. So let me give y'all the legal definition of that. Shout out to my guy, Smoked Out TV, the No Cap podcast. Substantially true is a legal phrase. It means something is not perfectly accurate in every tiny detail, but the main point or overall gist is correct. So this is what WorldStar is saying. We're not saying every single detail was accurate, but the gist and the point that you were a confidential source for the feds and an alleged informant, we standing on that.
Okay.
Right? If someone says a person stole $500, but in reality it was only $480, the statement can still be considered substantially true because the important part that the person stole money is correct. Right. In defamation law, if a statement is substantially true, it usually isn't considered defamatory, even if minor details are wrong, because the sting, the damaging part of the statement is accurate. You get that? You don't have to be 100% true about every detail, but substantially true, which is, I guess, the legal standard in these kind of defamation cases, is sufficient enough. That's what WorldStar's attorneys are arguing. Third affirmative defense, unclean hands. Plaintiff's claims are barred and held apart by the doctrine of unclean hands. We'll go deeper into these other arguments later. We're going to get through this. Not today. We'll get to it tomorrow. Plaintiff's claims are barred and held apart by the doctrine of waiver. Fifth affirmative defense, equitable estoppel. This answering defendant is informed and believes, and thereon alleges that each and every cause of action in a complaint is barred by reasons of acts, omissions, representations, and courses of conduct by plaintiff by which defendants were led to rely to their detriment, thereby barring under the doctrine of equitable estoppel any causes of actions asserted by plaintiff. Let me see. Oh, they're saying because he's saying he knew that the video was up there and they're telling their lawyer, no, leave it up there, let it reach 1 million, because that means we get more money in in damages, right? So he allowed the YouTube channel to get the 1 million views. It did 3 million views on the WorldStar Hip Hop channel. 6 affirmative defense, contributory negligence. Plaintiff's potential recovery is limited to the extent he himself was negligent and contributed as approximate and legal cause to his own injury and damages. When you saying you're suing me because of the damages that a lie caused you, well, first, it ain't a lie. We believe that. But even more than that, you allowed the damages to keep going knowingly so that you could come and argue that. 7th, affirmative defense, to the extent the matters complained of in the complaint were approximately caused in whole or in part by the acts or omissions of a third party or parties or plaintiff, right? The liability of defendant and any other responsible parties, named and unnamed, should be apportioned according to their respective degrees of fault or other legal responsibility. So they saying, listen, then Duse M's, if you suing me, nigga, Duse M's, you blaming us, but Duse M's and them should have liability too. Sue me. 8th affirmative defense. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part because plaintiff suffered no damages. You didn't suffer no damages. No disgorgement or restitution. As a separate and distinct affirmative defense, defendant alleges that plaintiff has not suffered any losses and defendant has not been unjustly enriched as a result of any action or inaction by defendant or their agents. Plaintiff is therefore not entitled to any disgorgement or restitution. Right? Then, 10th affirmative defense. No alter ego liability. Plaintiff's complaint and each and every cause of action therein fails against the defendant because the defendant was not the alter egos of any other named defendant. 11 affirmative defense. No individual liability. Plaintiff's complaint and each and every cause of action therein fails against the defendant because the defendant is not personally indebted to plaintiff in any amount, nor have they had any dealings with plaintiff in their respective individual capacities. 12th affirmative defense, bad faith. Plaintiff's complaint, Wack's complaint, and each purported cause of action set forth therein have always been and continue to be frivolous, unreasonable, in bad faith, and groundless. Plaintiff brought this action in bad faith and is therefore barred from any recovery in this action. His big old mouth. But yes, he knew she was a Fed. She tipped him off with the drug talk. That was the cue she gave him. Wack, the only criminal that caught a possession and conspiracy that couldn't stand in court due to put, Deuce, you got a countersuit. That's why he went. That's why he didn't want to sue me. And he tried to say because street niggas don't sue, bro. I'm a businessman, nigga. Nigga, I sue YouTube for WorldStar for Hit Your Bremen, nigga. Y'all want to see my receipt, nigga? I almost said it, but I ain't as dumb as CS2 back. Part of the agreement was that I can't disclose how much more they paid me than they would have paid anybody else who got that many views. 2.2 million views with a hit record, nigga. This is what we do. This 4 million views. How these niggas gonna call a gangster a clout chaser? Nigga, it appears that I've been the clout, nigga. But anyway, let's get back to this one. So let's read that one more time. Wack100's complaint and each purported cause of action set forth therein have always been and continue to be frivolous, unreasonable, in bad faith, and groundless, right? Plaintiff brought this, Wack brought this action in bad faith and is therefore barred from any recovery in this action. So they said, nigga, we ain't giving this nigga $1. Nina 13, what up? You late? You missed some good shit, but the replay gang is in full effect. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she didn't make it up? Okay. Damn, y'all done sent her down? Oh, we all was trying to mod her at the same time. 13th affirmative defense. This answering defendant is informed and believes and thereon alleges that it has suffered damage by reason of plaintiff's conduct and have the right to offset if any amount of money is owed to plaintiff. So they saying that, nigga, they're suing him for damages now. Oh, this nigga gonna be broke. You see what happened when you was a rat and you just can't man up? Why couldn't you just be like, the rest of these rats, Woody, YSL Woody, Charleston White. Just admit that you is because you're still working, nigga. That was the point.
Wait a minute, dudes, they're suing him? They're countersuing?
Yeah, they're countersuing him.
Oh, shit.
And saying that if he sue anybody else and win, that if he sues someone else, look, and have the right plaintiff conduct, they suffer damages, that it has suffered damage by reason of plaintiff's conduct. By this lawsuit, they suffer damages and have the right to offset if any amount of money is owed to plaintiff. So if any money is owed to Wack, they got a right to offset for the damages they suffered right here. So legal fees and all of that, all this is nasty work. This answering defendant is informed and believes and thereon alleges that there was no public policy based on a constitutional or statutory authority, including but not limited to the California Constitution or the United States Constitution, that was violated by WorldStar Hip Hop. 15, affirmative defense, uncertain damages. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part because they are uncertain, ambiguous, and or unintelligible. They called this nigga attorney stupid. Unintelligible. This shit is brazy, nigga. Hey, listen, I ain't even gonna lie. When this shit get to going this bad for your legal team and WorldStar got that bag, think they worth like 60 million or something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nigga, they got that bag.
Yeah,
they
sure.
lawyers they're ridiculing you. They're all gonna laugh at you. Nigga, unintelligible, nigga, ambiguous. Mean you didn't even state what you were suing for. You should know what the statutes for defamation of character is, as well as how much damages that you suffered before you even filed the case. If you're going for actual,
and Wack, he got my lawyer. I've been doing him for 20 years, 30 years. He'll say we've been greatest lawyer in LA, top 10, top 5. You know what I'm saying? Lawyer in LA, touring the country. Yeah, shut your bitch ass up.
But he got this lawyer. How the fuck you give Keefy D a bullshit ass, fake ass bail bondsman, man? Make this shit make
that
sense.
was some fraud, bro. That was fraud. That was fraud. The nigga did fraudulent. Then they gave him a name that worked at AG, and then they called and AG said that nobody by that name lived there. They was, man, this nigga CS2 back. This nigga's a cold scammer, nigga. Checkmate. Matrix 2020 checkmate. A lab-grown rat. This is nasty work. All you industry niggas that thought he was y'all big homie on the West Coast that was tapping in and checking in with him. Oh, man. Y'all niggas should be shitting on y'all self right now, nigga. Because if y'all did anything with this rat, it's all coming out now. You know what I'm saying? So, 16th, affirmative defense, opinion and fair comment privilege. Statements allegedly made by or attributed to WorldStar Hip Hop are statements of opinion and are fair comment on a matter of public interest. So remember when Wack, Big Mouth, kept saying on No Jumper, this is why they cited it in the transcript. I'm a public figure. Whether you like it or not, I'm a public figure, right? Remember he said that on the No Jumper podcast?
I thought he said a public informant, but go ahead.
And he said, you don't gotta like it. See, these gang members get emotional, but they gotta recognize I'm a public figure by way of record label, by way of this. Okay, well, since you a public figure with your big ass mouth, then the statements made or attributed by you by WorldStar Hip Hop, their opinion and our fair comment on a matter of public interest. You're a public figure, this is public interest, and they commenting on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's not defamatory. These people, M1, these niggas is going down. They defense just went, this was an emergency motion. 18th affirmative defense, First Amendment, freedom of speech. Statements allegedly made by or attributed to WorldStar Hip Hop are protected by constitutional or statutory authority, including but not limited to the California Constitution and the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Nigga, it's the freedom of speech to speak on your opinion. They want to silence Duse M to die. They want to silence the Damu Keyway conversation. See, them niggas over there are not your average members, bro. Them is not your average niggas. Niggas is joints. You know what I'm saying? Niggas really politic.
And the documentary still up, ain't it?
Yeah, documentary still up. We gonna play it in a minute.
I think I saw him play tonight on my page too. When I get out,
I send it to your phone.
No, documentary.
Yeah.
You got the other number, the new number?
On active check? No, I don't got the new number. I'll get it from the homie.
All right, do that.
But bro,
I'm for the stop. Get ready to do my shit. I got like 45.
Hey man, hey, first, congratulations on your new move.
You already know,
your new beginnings, your new focus. I sit back and forth. We might not text like we used to or talk, but just know, nigga, love you and I'm proud of you.
You already know, nigga.
Trying to do something positive and different. Salute to you, ODM.
Salute to you, nigga. You already know how we coming, fool. Nigga, we started this shit, nigga. We, you know what I'm saying, nigga? You already know how time it is, nigga. Straight up, nigga. Shit up, love don't change, nigga, on game. Straight up.
All right, one, bro.
One, nigga.
19th affirmative defense, you know. Retraction, news publication or broadcast. WorldStar retracted statements allegedly made by or attributed to WorldStar Hip Hop. Basically, they took down, that's one of the reasons why they took down the video as soon as they get the for that defense. As long as they take it down, as soon as they become aware of it, that you're alleging that it is, so that they wouldn't suffer further liability before researching what's going on. They took it down immediately once they got the cease and desist. 20th affirmative defense, right to assert additional unknown affirmative defenses. Plaintiff's complaint, Wack's complaint contains insufficient information to permit defendant to raise all appropriate defenses, and defendant therefore reserves their right to amend and or supplement this answer to assert additional affirmative defenses against plaintiff. Prayer for relief. Defendant prays for judgment as follows. The plaintiff's Wack100's complaint be dismissed. Plaintiff takes nothing by reason thereof. That judgment be entered in favor of defendant. That WorldStar Hip Hop be awarded their attorney fees and costs incurred in connection with this action, if allowable by law or contract, and for such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper. O'Hagan Meyer, Clint D. Robinson, Brooke Noel D. Royes, attorneys for defendants, MediaLab AI Inc., proof of service, and they served it by mail. Eric Berkovitz, Cass Jones, PKA. There goes the Beverly Hills lawyer's address, proof of service. Hey, listen, my nigga, we finna get to it right now, though. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the good people
selling incredible diapers on the street. The invisible incredible diapers.
That is crazy, bro. Wack100. Let me see. Oh, yeah, let's get to this one, right? No, this is the short one, bro. I don't want this one. Let's go back. Stop sharing that one. We're going to play the longer one. Matter of fact, I could have just closed that one off. Which one was that? Yeah, that's the one. Close that off. Bam. Here we go. Hit that like button. We cooking though. Almost 500 people up in here. We finna get into the documentary. Bam. Hey, I told y'all we got to work. This shit going crazy right now.
Informant in paperwork recently released by defendant.
I'm gonna get closing arguments after this. On why WorldStar needs to pay me my money,
right?
And
I was
get
caught up
all
in the
the
middle of all
information
that.
from me.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack100, most famously known for arguing on Clubhouse, has been exposed as a confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defendant Money Mark and Stutterbox. Before we play the recording of Money Mark, who was the main defendant in this case, confirming Wack is back, let's take a look back to when Wack himself spoke on this case and admitted to meeting with the feds and also saying they owe him a favor.
Once they hit my motherfucking home office, that's when they called the search off. Because in the home office, he then discovered the house and cars and everything they thought was up under my name, that had that living beyond the means excuse to come in there, was all up under different corporations.
Wack is claiming that FBI did not know his house was not in his name before entering his home, and once they found his paperwork in his home office, they called off the search. How does the FBI not have this information prior to search warrant?
My attorney, we go down to the federal building on Wilshire Boulevard, right up to 405. We go up top. Now, I get up top, I'm tripping niggas. So when I tell the motherfuckers, hey, look, y'all raided my house. Y'all had motherfuckers cuffed up in my house. Y'all did all this shit, you know, and y'all know damn well I was clean. Y'all embarrassed me, this, that. We filed the suit. When we get outside with my attorney, 2 officers that's depicted in there came to the front of me and my attorney said, hey, look, man, let this shit go. This shit gonna fuck, you know, this ain't gonna look good on us. We didn't know you. That boy put us on you, right? But we owe you one.
Wack is explaining going down to the federal building tripping and basically the detectives telling him on the spot that Stutterbox told us on you. This seems a little odd that detectives would give up someone who is supposedly working for them name, and also beg to drop the lawsuit and let us owe you a favor. Wack has told this story on several occasions, changing it up a little each time.
When I got up to the top floor, we went to go get my personal belongings, me and my attorney, when I saw the 2 women with that FBI flag jackets come out, that Stutterbox would always invite to dinner when we was eating at Stevie's on the strip, that's when I knew what time it was. When we come off the elevator, I see a bunch of people in FBI flag jackets. Guess who one of the persons I see? The fucking female from New Orleans that asked about the 5 keys.
Sounds like a scene from Power. Was it one or was it 2 women? Now Wack100 decides to use his favor the detective promised him and calls it in. Listen to how easy it is for Wack100 to get the information. These is words coming from Wack, and like he always says, the truth could never be considered disrespect.
I'm sitting back, I call my attorney. I said, hey, yo, call that officer, I need to have a word with him. Yo, didn't you say that Stutterbox is a cooperant for you? Yeah, documented on paper. Yeah, documented. He's a CI. Been that for 6-7 years. You got the paper and all, whatever y'all use. Yeah, we got that. Okay, yo, contact this dude. Have them call Stutterbox to the stand. Yeah, I called it in that day, and I did sue, but I used the card, and that was it.
Stutterbox alleges that Wack100 was caught on a wiretap with Dale Dog conspiring to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police's back. Stutterbox explains to Duse M that Wack gave up his address.
His house got raided because he was on the wiretap with Dog, you know.
What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Wack, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he
I
said
talked to Dog. I talked to Dog. That whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I had nothing to do with it. Nigga, I was a victim. Nigga, I was
Hey,
a
that's
victim.
what
Nigga, I was a
Suge
victim.
told me.
There you have it.
That
Wack
Damo
admitting to being a
Keyway is
victim on the
new
case,
Death Row.
talking to Dale Dog, and also saying Money Mark was completely right.
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Stutterbox said you in my paperwork on wiretap, right?
So Stutterbox confirmed that Wack was included in his paperwork
on the Main Street
on the Main Street case,
which he wasn't charged. But this guy is saying the only person that was arrested
was Cash Jones.
If Greg's credibility hurts the findings of the entire task force or not?
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
But when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap? The whole transcript. I got the whole transcript. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretap. And do you in that paperwork? Do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in the transcript? That was the initiating. That was the initiating when they started recording. Right. And Cash Jones. In the paperwork they put him as. Now the paperwork they put him as back. BACK. And I kept asking
the Wack boy in a minute.
The lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talk to no back.
Nasty.
And they
way.
said, nah, that's
I was a victim.
They put him in back because he a blood. So
wow.
Okay. Was this back also referred as confidential source number 2? Yes, sir. Correct. Well,
that's nasty work. We don't even need to play no more of that. You got
met him with the homie Stutterbox. That's how I first came to meet Wack, was through the homie Stutterbox, right? When I met him, dude was driving trucks, seemed to be cool. Box was like, yo, this was his neighbor across the street. He seemed to be cool. When Stutterbox defected, Wack picked up the phone and was basically being the interim, the middleman, because he was telling me Stutterbox was defected, and I was like, okay, but my whole thing is, if he defected, why are you fucking with him? Right. So he says that Stutterbox defected, and then you get some phone calls asking to speak to someone else, right? Yeah, he called me. He called me, man. It was, man, a series of calls, 4 or 5 calls. He wanted to reach out to the homie, rest in peace, Dale, though. And I don't give out nobody nav.
Right.
So I called the homie, Dale, dog. I'm like, yo, homie, you want to holler at this dude or what? Because he keep calling me. And he was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to holler at dude. So at some point, you get a
you don't want to do no hollering?
Wack100 Cash Jones.
Hell no.
And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning? He wanted to reach out to Dale Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dale Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was going to be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line. Right. Smart man. Rest in peace to Dale Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you? Well, the homie Dale Dog never trusted dude. Follow me? Right. So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't going to chance it.
Now let's jump into 2 more situations Wack100 himself discussed about his encounters with the FBI.
Fans just called my phone 2 hours ago.
What they were talking about?
I seen the shit, right? So first, I've been trying to get gang passport cleared. I said, maybe it's the, the passport people, right? So I said, I ain't gonna answer. Let me put the recorder on, then call. I called back. Niggas straight feds. So they asked me, have I been threatened? I said, what? Threatened by what are you talking about? They talking about the boy, right? So that let me know they on his line. They didn't heard something.
information has been provided that you've had some disagreements with Mr. Prince. Are you familiar with him?
I mean, I know who he is, but I don't have no issues with Mr. Prince.
Okay. So,
I mean, a disagreement is a disagreement. I don't know how that factors in the FBI.
well, I think Mr. Jones, all the YouTube videos going back and forth with him calling you a snitch and you calling him one, and all of that would be where we received information that there was possibly a disagreement.
Wack hired a crisis actor to impersonate the FBI. He posted a screenshot of his call log and bureau was spelled wrong. Was this Wack way of alerting the authorities he has issues with J. Prince? Wack has threatened 9,000 people on the internet, threatened to put a bag on people's head, claim he supplied guns to gangs.
Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, guess who they had to come see to get their tools, bro? Big you all up. Wack. Crip niggas gotta come see.
Why would the FBI be calling a big-time gangster like Wack100 to make sure he's okay? Unless there is a relationship between the two parties which could have started when the felon was caught in Texas with firearms. Wack has accused rapper T.I. of snitching for only serving 1 year for illegal firearms,
this is in the paper.
claiming that there was no way he could have only got that little time without telling.
This is in the
Wack100 alone with his brother was arrested in Texas for unlawful carrying of a firearm by a felon. There was never a court date, no discovery on file, just a brief in support of motion to suppress. The case was dropped in 2011 in the interest of justice. Wack needs to do what he asked everyone else to do. Produce the paperwork, not just the order to dismiss. Explain how a felon gets caught with guns crossing state lines. What happened to your co-defendant?
Nasty work. Hey, salute to everybody in the chat. Now, I'm gonna bring y'all Damu Keyway Conversations, closing arguments. We're gonna bury the nail in the coffin on CS2 back where they already did it, but this is the finish him. You know, legal arguments. This is why WorldStar needs to be hollering. Hey, Duse M. Hey, look, this nigga Wack is trying to say it's our fault, but you got all of the evidence. Look, we know we owe you the money for the 4 million views. Duse M, you did copyright the work the day that we released it on WorldStar Hip Hop. I mean, y'all ain't gotta believe me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I got a course on this channel on YouTube, Active Chucks. The Active Chucks page where it says it has a whole curriculum on how to properly register your copyright. See, everybody ain't hashtag thinkers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show y'all what's called a certificate of registration. I want to pull it up on here big, so I don't want to grab it. I got it in my coach bag, but I want to bring it up on here for y'all to see, right? So y'all know this is owned by me. So like Channel BLK, the fanboy looking for a handout, content from other niggas because he ain't from the land. He ain't got no plugs. He don't know no street niggas like that. So he just take whatever he can find on the internet and try to make sense of it. He's so smart, he's dumb. You know what I'm saying? So I could take his shit down, right? Because he tried to make it seem like an infringe on my copyright, a misrepresentation as if, you know what I'm saying? But I let the nigga get the clout. Listen, bro, keep it up. And you over there sucking Wack dick and make him look even worse. Good looking out. You know what I'm saying? You got 2-3 documentaries up there of shit that I done put up there and you trying to claim the fame. Shit nasty as hell. I already did 4 million. Nigga, play catch up. You know what I'm saying? Play catch up. So y'all want to see, let me make sure this is the one. Yeah, this is it. So here's this. Oh shit! Hold up. So this is the this is the certificate of registration. When you register any works, music, albums, film, when you copyright any of that stuff, you copyright with the Library of Congress. And let me see, how the hell do I get back to, oh, I know how. Back to StreamYard, boom. So, oh shit. Real quick, let me blow this up for y'all, right? So here you got certificate of registration. It's stamped. There go my registration number. The effective date of registration was February 13th, 2024, which means that's the day that they got a copy of the documentary. They got the money, the payment for registering it with all of this information. The title of the work, Wack100 and the Snitch Allegations, date on copies, January 27th, 2024. That was the exact same day that WorldStar Hip Hop released my documentary. Also, it has an international standard number, ISRC, just like a record album, right? So it would show up on billboards. 4 million views showed up on Billboard. That's the barcode. So not only did I register the film, the documentary, right? Wack100 and the Snitch Allegations, entire motion picture, author created by me, right? And it's embedded with a digital fingerprint ISRC code QMEU 3239160. That number is registered with Sound Exchange. Yeah, I'm a businessman. So when you get a bottle of water and you go in the store or fruit and it has that barcode, when they scan it, it always going to go back to wherever this water was made and bottled up, or that apple came from. How do you think they track down recalls when they find out there's a spread of salmonella or something? That's what that does. I know how to do that. So these is definitely my works, right? We're going to close that off. Just have to teach y'all, if anybody want to take that course, if you're a creative, a musician, a filmmaker, and you want to understand the business, tap in. We got the curriculum on Active Chucks. You know what I'm saying? And we finna get into this Greg Kading thing. And we got a documentary. Shout out Street TV, certified Street TV. I mean, Street Certified News. And shout out Kip Kamey. We gonna get into those. I think, yeah, here it go right here. Shout out my boy Mo Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna do it? I'd be less than a man if I didn't make sure the GOAT and all the work he put in got his proper recognition. You know what I'm saying? LAPD Detective Greg Kading. Let's get to it.
We expose the exposers. Today, we're going to let you guys hear what Greg Kading has to say about CS2
but we cooking.
You're going to hear Greg attempt to shield his confidential source, but you're also going to hear him place Wack directly in the CS2 driver's seat. I'll interject a little throughout the interview, just to point out a few things. Other than that, I'm going to just let it play. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Now, Greg, this isn't about you. This is about Wack. I understand you have to do what you got to do. But if he can bring you on Clubhouse to tell us all that stuff, I feel I should be able to ask some questions so the people can be informed. So again, this has nothing to do with you. This is about Wack.
Yeah, I get it. No, and again, I'm not trying to get in the middle of whatever bullshit is going on between Wack and whatever bullshit's going on with Starbucks. I don't give a fuck about that beef. Whatever it is, they'll figure it out. I'm just going to tell you investigatively, we would have listed Wack, Cash Jones, in our paperwork. He would have been like target 1, and his phone would have been target 1. And so when we were looking at him, we used particular language in our paperwork. So if we're writing the wiretap affidavit for his phone, we would say Cash Jones, also known as Wack. You were utilizing target number, whatever, which would be his phone. I think it was some 661 phone number. And that's just the language. Nowhere within the paperwork related to the investigation of Cash Jones, was he ever mentioned as a CS or an informant? Because he wasn't.
Okay. Now, Greg, we're talking about the case Stutterbox had against Shaquille O'Neal and the 7 Main Street Crips. When Wack brought you on Clubhouse, he asked you what would he have been referred to as in the paperwork.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your, because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
Bring it now, nigga.
If Wack had nothing to do with Del Dog, Shaq, or any of the Main Street Crips, why would his name be being referred to in the paperwork at all?
So again, this is completely different investigation. We have to be real careful that we don't cross over these ideas, because when I said he would have been mentioned in the paperwork, if we're talking about Cash Jones's case, then we may have mentioned a CS, which would have been Stutterbox, saying these things about Cash that we investigated. There's that. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't. Now, if Cash is asking me if his name was in the Main Street case, no, it wasn't.
So we all know that Greg is not being truthful when he says that. We can clearly see Wack's government name, Cash Jones, all in this case. Hey, Christopher Love's boys, this shows you why you can't believe everything the police say. This also shows you that the police are protecting Wack, as they would any other confidential informant that's in good standing with them, unlike Stutterbox. But I want you to hear what Greg says right after he said Wack was not in the Main Street case at all.
There was no mention of Cash in the Main Street case. Other than when he's trying to get a hold of Mark Stevens and in order to tell him that Box has been compromised.
Yeah, and that's what the wiretap transcript said CS2 Back, or Wack, was calling Del Dog to do. Not Del Dog, but Mark Stevens.
See what you just did, though?
Yeah, I said Del Dog.
You said CS2 Wack. It doesn't say that, does it?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it say CS2 Back?
Yes, it says CS2 Back.
Okay, well, do you know what you just said?
What did I say?
CS2 Wack.
I meant CS2 Back.
Because in your mind, and bear with me, no offense here, but I think you've already come to the conclusion that Back is Wack, and that's why that's such an easy mistake to make.
Well, the reason I think Wack is CS2 Back is because that's who Mark Stevens said he was talking to.
Well, nobody's disputing that. Nobody's disputing that Mark Stevens is saying that Wack is who he was talking to.
But he's saying that that's Back. He is saying that Back is Wack.
How does Mark Stevens put that together? Show me how Mark Stevens has anything to substantiate that Back is Wack.
In the paperwork they put him as Back, B-A-C-K. And I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no Back. And they said, nah, that's Wack. but they put him in back because he a blood, so it's back. I said, oh, okay.
And was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
In the suit.
Okay, so no offense to Mark, he doesn't know any better. But when we're writing official police reports, we don't play the game. We don't change language or change spelling because we are, part of the gang culture. We're not going to put Wack. We're going to put back because he's a blood, not a Crip, and we don't. That's not how we operate. We don't. That's gang shit. We don't write as gangsters. We write as police officers and try to be as specific as possible.
Greg is saying they try to be as specific as possible and that they don't do things like that. But we're all looking at a wiretap transcript where they did exactly that. They put a person named Back in the paperwork, and no one knows who Back is.
We don't change things in order to. So if Mark Stevens is thinking that, oh man, the cops just put this in there this way because he's a blood and not a Crip, it's not how it works.
I hear you, Greg. But even without them doing that, the conversation with Mark Stevens and Del Dog did actually take place. And Mark Stevens is saying the person who called him looking for Del Dog's phone number was Wack. Mark said he doesn't know anyone named Back. So why would they put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts?
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation of Wack being back, there's nothing to substantiate that other than...
Now I'm going to pause right here because I want to make sure you guys didn't miss what just happened. I told Greg that Mark Stevens said he doesn't know anyone named Back. So I asked Greg why would they put somebody in the paperwork that Mark Stevens doesn't know and has never ever spoken to in his life. I'm going to play it again so you can hear how he evades my question. I hear you, Greg. But even without them doing that, the conversation with Mark Stevens and Del Dog did actually take place. And Mark Stevens is saying the person who called him looking for Del Dog's phone number was Wack. Mark said he doesn't know anyone named Back. So why would they put some fake person that Mark has never ever talked to in the transcripts?
No, I get that. See, we are totally in agreement. The conversation is Wack, obviously. The conversation is Wack, obviously. But this explanation of Wack being back, there's nothing to substantiate that other
than a misunderstanding. Get the hell out of here. Man, he's so condescending. They really, all of them, see us2 back and them rats stink like pigs. So they think we all dumb. We're animals. We ain't got no common sense, right? So this is why Duse M puts them to embarrassment. The lawyer said that they were unintelligent. They're clowning his lawyers. This shit is not even a joke no more. They are the joke. You know what I'm saying? But for those who don't know what we're talking about, those who ain't been around, shout out my boy Kip Caney, right? So he gonna tell you the whole story right here. Hold on.
Los Angeles, in the territory of the Main Street Mafia Crips. There, he was beaten, robbed, and demanded to return Shaquille O'Neal's sex tape. Let's turn back the clock. The year is 1992, and on the night of February 10th, 2008, a man by the name of Robert Ross went into a convenience store in West Hollywood. He was then kidnapped at gunpoint and was forced to drive to a home in South Central Los Angeles, in the territory of the Main Street Mafia Crips. There, he was beaten, robbed, and demanded to return Shaquille O'Neal's sex tape. Stay tuned. Let's turn back the clock. The year is 1992, and Shaquille O'Neal roared his way from LSU all the way to the NBA, where he became synonymous with both power and finesse. Quickly, he became one of the league's most dominant players, and one of the US's most popular celebrities. As a literal larger-than-life figure, Shaq also dominated off the court, starring in movies, Pepsi commercials, gracing video game and magazine covers, making wrestling appearances, and topping the charts with one of his most dear passions, rapping, spitting on the mic. Along names such as the notorious B.I.G., Nas, and Jay-Z, the big Aristotle showed us chops on the mic, even featuring on a Michael Jackson single. Yeah, seriously. Of course, Shaq doesn't get a King of Pop or Jay-Z feature by just dunking a basketball. He was actually an adept rapper for his time period. And although he already had millions of dollars, worldwide fame, and basically anything that he wanted more. He called himself a Renaissance man. And hey, he was Shaquille O'Neal, man. Whatever he wanted, he got. No diddy. So it's a year later now. Fresh off a Rookie of the Year campaign, Shaq founded his own record label called Twism Records, with Twism standing for The World Is Mine. Fitting. While being one of the league's best players from out the gate.
Is it true that you're the only rookie that was ever named Player of the Week in the first week?
Yes, it is. I had a pretty good week.
He was also recording with some of the hottest artists in the 90s, the first of which being a rap group called Wshh, one of Shaq's childhood idols. The record was a song they'd already recorded, called What's Up Doc, Can We Rock? They added Shaq last minute as a feature, and the song blew up. Coming out in the summer of 1993, it was a top 40 Billboard hit. To compare, Tweak About Jello Ball is a top 30 Billboard hit, and look where it got him. So yeah, Shaq was hot stuff. It was actually fire. For the time at least.
What's up, Doc? I'm the hooper, hyper, protected by Viper. When I'm out the hooping, yo, you better decipher.
That single showed that Shaq could hold his own in the booth, and many more records followed. What's Up, Doc became the lead single of Shaq's first project, called Shaq Diesel, which went platinum, selling over 1 million copies. Buoyed by this massive success, Jive Records, the label that put Wshh and Shaq together in the first place, offered him a 3-album, $10 million deal.
Agent called and he said, bro, you're not gonna believe this. And I said, what? He said, they offer you a $10 million 3-album deal. And I was like, I gotta take it.
The next album he dropped was called Shaq Food, The Return, where the first song was No Hook, featuring RZA and Method Man.
The Shaq attack has risen. Roll call 3 p.m. This is Twism. Always and forever.
The album went gold, selling about 500,000 copies. After this, Shaq left Jive Records and partnered with Interscope, where in 1996 he dropped the best album from any athlete ever, You Can't Stop the Rain, featuring the notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, Nas, and Rakim. For my younger audience, that's like Jello dropping a project with Drake, NBA Youngboy, Lil Uzi, and damn, Cardi. Shaq was stamped in the music game. Just a few months prior, Shaq made the bombshell announcement that he'd be signing a 7-year, $121 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. From there, he became the legend that we all know. On the music side, he commemorated his move with the track Straight playing. Symbolizing the arrival of Shaq Diesel on the West Coast. Now, comparatively speaking, You Can't Stop the Rain didn't do that well, selling 200,000 copies. Shaq did one more album partnering with A&M Records in 1998, which featured Kobe Bryant in a song called 3 Times Dope. However, Kobe wasn't credited because of real quick, bro. Like that. But it's out there. I'll play a snippet right now.
One of the GOATs, my brother, Dose Reality TV. Everybody keep him in his prayers, him and his family. He's dealing with some things right now. So if y'all don't see nothing for a couple weeks, don't trip. He'll be back. Let him mourn. Let his family mourn. Condolences to my brother, man. Shalom. We're going to get back to it, man. We got this, bro. Just get yours right.
I reach destinations with split-second acceleration in a capsule of time to witness your own evaporation.
When Phil Jackson came into the picture, Shaq let rapping take a back seat. And during the three-peat run in LA, he didn't release anything, recording one album called Shaquille O'Neal Presents Super Friends Volume 1, which never released. He dropped one last track called Drop Another Day Number 34, which started a beef with a rapper called Mad Skills. And after that, he never dropped a full rap project again. The year is now 2004, and the Los Angeles Lakers are losing their groove. They lost their first NBA Finals in the Kobe and Shaq era, and while their status was nothing but solidified, Shaq's time in LA was almost up. Around this time, Shaq created a new label with his cousin Money Mark Stevens, a shrewd businessman who he regularly consulted with while he had Twism Records, which went under in 2001. This time, Shaq was looking to be the executive rather than the talent, and was looking for artists to partner with for his label. Now, enter Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, due to his penchant for stuttering when he gets nervous or excited. He met Shaquille O'Neal at a party in LA in around 2003, and they became good friends. Stutterbox happened to know a lot of people around the music scene in LA. Shaq's new label, looking for new artists, commissioned Stutterbox to go and find new people for him, and he followed through. Plus interest, it seems. Enough to where Shaq shouted him out in a 2006 remix of his song with a Notorious B.I.G. That's not all he shouted out, though. In fact, he had a lot of guys in a set to rap.
Man, money Marcus Bullet, cousin Kenny is my cat, man. Dog and Box got my back, man. K Slade, Corey Guns, Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
So, who are these guys? And what's Main Street? Well, see, Robert Ross was affiliated with the Main Street Mafia Crips of South Central LA. This is where stuff gets sticky. While I've lived in South Central LA before, I have not had a singular gang interaction. Like, the closest I got, I went to a basketball court alone on the weekend, broad daylight. It's the middle of the day on a weekend, and there's no kids, no one around. I'm wondering what's going on. I see some gang tags, I put it together, and I get up out of there. I turn on the jets. I am not about that life. So I brought in someone who is. Lamonte Duse M Sims is an OG coming from the Fruittown Brims, a set of the Bloods in West South Central. He's worked with guys like YG and Ty Dolla $ign before, and featured on the viral Brim anthem, Hit Yo Brimmin'. He's also the owner of the media outlet Active Chucks, where he's interviewed major LA players like Suge Knight, as well as our main men Robert Ross and Money Mark Stevens.
Stutterbox is the nexus to this whole investigation.
In late 2007, Ross formed a relationship with his neighbor Ray J, and was able to bring him onto Shaq and Mark Stevens' label, with the help of Death Row affiliate Cash Jones, aka Wack100. That'll be important later. During the initial negotiations, Robert Ross and Mark Stevens agreed that Ross would make a percentage of royalties based off of whatever music that Ray J and the label put out together. But when they met in New York a few weeks later to finalize the deal, Mark Stevens balked. He gave Ross a $20,000 finder's fee and refused to pay him any royalties.
Now, mind you, Robert Ross is a real fancy, flashy dude. He's driving around Los Angeles at this point in Rolls Royces and Phantoms. He's really heavily and wealthy man. I think he had did a fraud, allegedly, and acquired about $7-8 million in a fraud scam that he had going on. So he's a street millionaire.
So naturally, Stutterbox wasn't going for it. And neither was Ray J, actually. He refused to sign the deal until Stutterbox got his pay. But the facilitator in New York, Koch Records, were going to nix the deal if he didn't sign soon. So Stutterbox tells Ray J sign the deal, and
I get my money out of these guys, how I get my money out of them.
The project ended up being a commercial success, topping the charts of Billboard Hip Hop and R&B. The main single was Sexy Can I, which actually had Shaq in the background of the music video.
Is it true that Shaq invested in your music career?
Yeah. He gave us, I think, $1.5 million for Sexy Can I.
Wow.
Money Mark, Wack100, we had another partner, and then Shaq. And we recouped the number back for Shaq in, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. And everything else has been profitable since.
All the while, Stutterbox was still trying to get his money back. After weeks of constantly requesting money from Mark and Shaq, there was no budging from either guy. So
Robert Ross and Cash Jones come up with a conspiracy to blackmail and extort Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens for the money that Robert Ross felt he was owed for putting together the Ray J deal.
Now hold on, I know that sounds crazy, but hear it out. So Shaq and Stutterbox are good friends at this point, right? Stutterbox even introduced him to other members of the Main Street Crips, including the leader Liddell Rawls, aka Del Dog, remember that, and Kevin Haran, who went by the name of Lil Shaq. Sound familiar?
Dog and Box got my back, man. Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
So not only does Shaq rep the Main Street set, but the other people that he mentioned are literally his family. Mark and Kenny,
cousin Kenny is my cat, man,
are his blood relatives, first cousins. And Corey Guns is his godson. But who gets the screen time? Not Kenny or Corey, but Stutterbox.
But him and Shaq was tight, and Shaquille O'Neal, prior to the deal, hung out with him, partied with him, even went to his house where Robert Ross leaves. Shaquille O'Neal had invited his female friend there, had sex with her there, and it was security cam footage when Robert Ross came home where he sees, oh man, he boom boom brought on my couch, you know what I'm saying? Shoved his hands all in her ass and all of this stuff.
So yeah, Stutterbox, Robert Ross, came home to a security cam footage and saw Shaq. Yeah. So anyway, that's leverage. This happened around July 2007, before Shaquille divorced his wife, Shawnee. That's infidelity from a global superstar in the 2000s. TMZ would literally be slobbering. TMZ was going to slobber all over that. So through Cash Jones, Wack100, Ross claimed to have recorded and saved the footage and insinuated that he could sell it to TMZ and make a lot of money. Additionally, get this.
Now, Robert Ross, another story plot twist, seeing that Shaquille O'Neal and Shani O'Neal were having a rocky relationship. As the story goes, he allegedly played into be a counselor and it is rumored began to have sex with Shani O'Neal. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, Robert Ross lies about a lot, but it's been consistent. Even a lot of the police officers in their reports were citing that this allegation might have possibly been true. Shaquille O'Neal hired a private investigator to follow his ex-wife. She follows his ex-wife and brings back footage of Robert Ross and Shani O'Neal having brunch together out in, they met halfway and met in Texas or somewhere down south back east.
During this time, apparently Robert Ross told Shani O'Neal about the sex tape and even offered to sell it to her. She also said she didn't believe there was a sex tape because he was a liar and he never slept with her. So anyways, regardless of all of what happened previously, I think we can all agree here that Robert Ross is moving hella shiesty. I mean, he did say he's gonna get it back his way. I mean, he's a street millionaire. What do you expect? But here's where he messed up. He messed with Shaq Diesel. Hey, no glaze. One thing Shaq didn't play about back then was leaks. During Kobe Bryant's deposition in his 2004 Colorado case, he name-dropped Shaq to the people who were interviewing him, claiming that Shaq would not pay his woman to say anything, and that he's already paid up to $1 million for stuff like this. Now, listen, I'm not gonna choose a side for you guys, but the alleged victim, 3 days before she charged Kobe, bragged about being with him to 5 people. She'd apparently tried to get with Eminem, and her friend described her as having a celebrity addiction. At least from Kobe's point of view, this was just infidelity. And when Shaq did it, he married Shani in 2002, he made sure to cover his tracks. Now here goes one of his business partners, who, by the way, had a track of criminal activity, and Shaq was claiming to want to reform him, but he'd also been dropping Shaq's name to police officers. So this is the guy who's trying to throw all of that now down the drain. Shaq wasn't going. Enter Del Dog, the leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips, and one of the most famous men of South Central LA.
You had to hear about Del Dog. He was like God.
Christened the Street Apostle, Del Dog was the founder of 4 Life Records and the 4 Life Mafia Car Club, the latter of which became the predecessor for an entire car subculture in Japan. He was also tight with Steve Harvey and Ice Cube, both of whom starred in a documentary funded by Shaquille O'Neal. Seen as nearly a biblical figure in his hood, he organized toy and food drives every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer, with Shaq even pulling up sometimes. Additionally, he was a devout follower of Christ in his later years, of which he did his best to spread the good word around his hood. Like one of his members said,
"We was cripping for the street, now we're cripping for Christ."
But like every person in power, there are 2 sides to the coin.
He's like a legend in Los Angeles. Some people even call him the king of Los Angeles. If you listen to most people, he was like a ghetto Robin Hood, right? Necessary evils.
Necessary evils.
Lord, I cannot kill all these niggas hating on me, man. That's what I said to God. I said, I cannot kill all these niggas that's hating, man.
2 weeks later, Robert Ross, Stutterbox, was at the Pink Dot in West Hollywood when he encountered some of his old partners from the Main Street Crips. They blocked his car from leaving and told him that Dog wanted to see him. They forced him at gunpoint to drive his Rolls Royce back to South Central LA, where they dropped him off in front of a member's house, where Liddell Rawls, Del Dog, was waiting. Per Ross's account, Dog and some other guys started jumping him, pistol whipping and all of this stuff for about an hour. They then took him to a studio in the back of the house, where they beat him some more, took his diamond necklace, his diamond earrings, Rolex watch, and $15,000 in cash, while saying, Mark and Shaq know who the real boss is now. Del Dog then demanded the tape and $100,000, to which Stutterbox replied, his mom and sister needed to see him soon or else they would get suspicious, but he'd be able to get $60K and the tape in just a few hours. Del Dog then handed him his keys for his house and his car, and let him out. Now, this is where our story gets even juicier. Robert Ross, up to this point, had been working with the police.
He was working with Detective Darren Dupree and Greg Kading, which was a joint task force. They were both LAPD officers, primarily focused on the Tupac and Biggie murder investigation.
Whoa, hold on, huh? Wait, why? Why? Well,
Robert Ross Stutterbox was also a suspect in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Well, they had informants saying that the police did it and the hitman name was Amir Muhammad. Well, Stutterbox went by the alias Robert Ross, went by the alias.
And to top it all off,
the Main Street Crips are already under federal investigation. I'm talking about home invasions, drug dealings. The FBI, ATF, DEA already has federal wiretaps going on.
Which is why this crime was able to be so fleshed out in the first place. They'd already had wiretaps placed on the Main Street Crips. Man. Listen, we talking about Biggie and Tupac on an NBA channel. Bro, like and subscribe, man. Who's really doing this? Back to box.
He leaves, jumps in his Rolls Royce. He calls his handler, Darren Dupree, and Darren Dupree tells him to walk in and report the kidnapping and robbery at the local police station, which he did.
Now, Robert Ross's informant situation and motives are still murky, but what is known is that instead of going home and receiving the tape and the $60,000, he went to the LAPD's 77th Division station, beaten and bloodied, and told the officers about what had just happened, and implicated Liddell Rawls, Shaquille O'Neal, and Mark Stevens. Now, was there any evidence other than hearsay to prove that Shaq and Mark Stevens put a hit out on Robert Ross? No. Not really, but remember the wiretaps. The LAPD found that around the time that Robert Ross was kidnapped, a flurry of calls was exchanged between Mark Stevens and Liddell Rawls. Now, I just finished up The Wire Season 1, and bro, when I read that, I said, bro, literally bar for bar, man, I was shocked. So, there's strong evidence that Money Mark called Del Dog to handle Stutterbox, something Greg Kading, the officer that worked with Stutterbox and the handler of the Tupac and Biggie cases, also corroborated.
Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, you gotta square your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox.
But Ross didn't press charges right away. Sometime after the kidnapping, he was incarcerated again, which led to a delay for almost 3 years. Then, in the summer of 2011, he officially filed a civil complaint accusing Shaq, Mark Stevens, Del Dog, and 7 other Main Street Crip members of kidnapping, assault and battery, and robbery. From there, the case was picked up from all the major news outlets, with bombastic headlines like Shaq Attack and the like. But then, after the preliminary hearing, the case was inexplicably dropped. Why? Well, apparently, Robert Ross perjured himself in court. He lied on the stand. Wack100, his former partner, and in on that first Ray J deal, claims to know why.
To help a certain individual out, I called my attorney, had the attorney put Greg Kading and Mark Stevens together. They put that together to ask Box on stand, if you go pull the paperwork, have you ever been a confidential informant to work for the LAPD, the FBI as a known snitch? He lied on the oath and said no. Greg Kading takes a stance, provides a document that this dude is in fact one of our informants, this, that. At that point, the judge looks at it. He perjured himself. Therefore, any allegations or any claims he's bringing on anybody is non and void. They dropped the charges on these 7 Crips and let them go. So in a sense, this power roof freed the Crips.
Now, time for another plot twist. Wack100 was also allegedly an FBI informant at the time, but this time for Death Row Records in regarding the Biggie Smalls case.
A man who works hard, sweats hard. Old Spice rider fights sweat, so coach thought I was slacking. So I trained with my Old Spice, and I became the best player ever. So
what's going on, bro? Lamonte, who's actually got beef right now with Wack100, broke it down for me. Buckle up. So, for context, after the death of Biggie Smalls, there were allegations that the LAPD was involved in the murder. And not only that, but they hid their involvement in the preceding trials. Biggie's family then filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the LAPD in the city of LA, demanding over $400 million.
Detective Greg Kading, he helped federalize that Main Street case, but that wasn't his case. He's running the Biggie murder investigation and the Tupac Death Row Wshh stuff. So that's his priority. There's a $400 million lawsuit against the LAPD and the city of Los Angeles, which would have bankrupt Greg Kading and Darren Dupree. The task force was created to bring up a different theory that didn't implicate any police officers in participating or assisting in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious Big. That's his only focus, to bring up a theory so that they could get off this $400 million lawsuit. If Detective Coet would have spoke up on the stand, or Detective Fournier, they could have asked them about everybody who was on this investigation, including the informant. Informants being confidential source to back.
Now, who is CS2 back? Well, according to Lamonte's findings, that is Wack100 Cash Jones, who's listed in the investigations while Del Dog was speaking with Mark Stevens. Through Mark Stevens, who is now Cash Jones's employer at Deja 34 Records thanks to the Ray J deal, he wanted to convey the information that Stutterbox had gone sour. Del Dog declines. The police investigation referred to him as CS2, confidential source 2, and Mark Stevens confirmed his identity later on. The priority being the case of the notorious B.I.G. and Jones's ability to be able to point out the culprit as being Wardell Fouts, aka Poochie, as a plausible story. If the police officers working on the Stutterbox case were to testify, they were liable to exposing Cash Jones's relationship with the police due to him being involved tangentially, and thus rupturing the relationship needed to have a working theory to save the city of LA and the LAPD $400 million. So they left their lower-ranking informant out to dry, and the case was dropped. But hey, that's just a theory. A gang theory. That was poor. That was poor. Thanks for watching. My bad. The LAPD, by the way, had already designated Ross as an undesirable informant due to having a personal vendetta against other gang members and allegedly bragging about paying cops.
Stutterbox is a really interesting character. He may be one of the worst people that I've ever come across so far as how devious he is.
So maybe that was the reason. Whatever the explanation was, the case was dismissed, the members were set free, and Shaq didn't even see the courtroom. Robert Ross, regardless if he had later legal troubles, lives now in a nice house and what seems to be a peaceful life from what I can make out. Liddell Rawls, aka Del Dog, was shot in 2015 after allegedly attempting to mediate a gang dispute. Mark Stevens, I think, is still living in Atlanta, still working with Shaq, not on music anymore. That kind of died out in 2013. And as it turned out, he actually became Stephen A's agent. And Shaq is now an overpaid hater on national television, far from the gangster life that he may have once dabbled in. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
I don't know that Shaquille O'Neal was even aware that a kidnap and robbery was going down. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
We'll probably never know. But damn. And if you see any other stories like this, hit me up on Twitter, man. I want to see some more. I want to cover some more. Like and subscribe if you haven't, because more heat is on the way. Thanks for watching. You can't stop the rain.
Salute to my boy Gift Kamey, man. We got the content. We got one more video I want to smack in y'all ear. I'm gonna mute up. But shout out Street Certified News. We're gonna get into his documentary on that. I work with both of these brothers, and I appreciate the love and their belief and support in my journalistic research, and them the work that they did to come up to the same conclusion. Let's go. Hold on, now let me get back over there.
Hit him, Mr. Oh, yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking with Street Certified News. We got behind the scenes, man. We're gonna tie this bitch up.
What up, this your boy bombshell. We rocking with Street Certified News.
Yeah, Street Certified News, man. Shout out Big Bo. Shout out Walker.
Certified, man.
Yo. It's your boy MXL Guapo, man. Street Certified News. And we back with another one. As you can see from the title, man, this week, man, we get real deep, man. The boy Wack100. A few months ago, there were some interviews that came out from the dude Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, as well as Mark Stevens. Shout out, man, big OG Spider Lope, man. You know what I'm saying? They came on his podcast and they told a story that was very compelling. You know what I'm saying? Also, man, shout out the boy Duse, man, Active Chucks. He's actually the director of the video about Wack100 that's currently at like 2 million views on WorldStar right now. It's on their website as well as their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? We dug into this story, man. We wanted to start from like the most unbiased place possible. You know what I'm saying? In the past, we have made videos, you know what I'm saying? We have made fun of Wack100. But Like I said, man, when we saw the video on WorldStar, you know, that necessarily didn't convince us that, you know, bro was a rat. You know what I mean? We really went into this story like as unbiased as possible so that, you know what I'm saying, we could give you guys the best story. And like I said, man, the information we gonna provide in this video, man, we stand on it 100%. Is literally we did all the due diligence we could. Before we get started, we need everybody to stop, smack the like button, man. Man, let's get this video to 1,000 likes, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we say 500, sometimes we say 400, 300. Man, let's run this video up to 1,000 likes. Like I said, man, we did our due diligence in this video. We reached out to people. You know what I'm saying? We checked paperwork. We did everything we could possibly do to bring you guys like the most accurate story on this whole Wack100 CS2 situation. You know what I'm saying? So this week's story, how the boy Wack100 exposed himself as a federal informant, and how all of this started with the Main Street Mafia Crips and LA Lakers star Shaquille O'Neal, man. Sound crazy already, I know, man. Hey, with no further ado, man, let's get right into it. February 2008, record producer and alleged Mafia Crip Robert Ross, while parked on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California, is approached by men he believed to also be associated with the Main Street Mafia Crips. These men directed Mr. Ross to follow them to a different location, to the home of Main Street Crip leader Liddell Del Dog Rose. It was there where Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, would testify he was beaten and told to fix his problems with Mark Stevens, a business manager who worked closely with Shaquille O'Neal. Ross would go on to testify that he also formerly worked for Shaquille O'Neal and Stevens as a music producer for artists signed to the record label Deja 34. This part of the story was like super important, man. Like I said, researching this story, man, the Main Street Mafia Crips popped up, as well as the dude Shaquille O'Neal, man. We gonna get into kind of how it all ends later, but we really wanted y'all to kind of see this part of the story because it's like a lot of coincidences, as well as, you know what I'm saying, Wack100, you know, many times inserting himself into certain situations, including eventually this one. We really wanted to tell y'all this part, but we promise y'all it's gonna get to Wack. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, court records would show that Robert Ross would testify that while he worked for Shaq, because of Ross's criminal past, would sometimes ask him to like do weird shit that he didn't feel like was in the, you know, music producer job title. It's also alleged around this time that Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, he met Shaq's wife and allegedly may have had an affair with her and secretly recorded a sex tape. This sex tape would be something that Ross would admit that he told Shaq and Mark Stevens about only weeks before this encounter with the Main Street Crips. In July of 2008, after word was spread about the kidnapping, ultimately affecting Ross's business, the disgruntled producer would take his information to the LA County Sheriff, claiming Shaq and Mark Stevens paid the Main Street Crips to kidnap him and get him to give up the tape. Also during this meeting, Robert Ross would admit the sex tape was a hoax, meant to extort Shaq and Stevens for a larger cut in their music business. As a result, a wiretap would be placed on Mark Stevens and Liddell Rose's phone. Now let's get to Wack100. Wack100, aka Cash Jones, by 2008, is a part-time music manager, part-time street politician, and full-time trucking company CEO. Being a former associate of Suge Knight and a Blood Gang member, Wack admits many people in the streets looked at his successful trucking company as a front. But Wack says he always did legitimate business through his companies. It was also during this time that Wack100, aka Cash Jones, claims he was neighbors with a high-ranking Crip named Stutterbox, aka Robert Ross. Coincidentally, Wack100 also at this time managed Ray J, who was signed to a joint venture between Mark Stevens' label and Suge Knight's Death Row Records.
Excuse me.
Have you heard of this company?
Yes, I've seen you guys on the street before.
We are going to come surprise you and pick up your junk.
Are you
Hit that like
serious?
button.
Serious. We're going to hop in that truck. We've got
we on
two
the
well-dressed.
final lap. We ran this hot content. Show some love. Let's go.
Like I said, man, doing the research on this video, like we ran into like hella weird coincidences like that. Bro lived next door to him. They became friends. He also was in business with Mark Stevens through Death Row Records and Ray J. And it was just a million different ways that like this story was twisted and turning, man. And it kind of like, it slowed me down. For people that don't know, that video hit WorldStar maybe like 2 days ago. During the process of, doing our research, we happened to reach out to LAOG Spider Loke. We spoke with him and he introduced us to the boy Duse.
For people who don't know, we got Spider Loke on the call, and then just give him your name, bro, just so that everybody understand, like, where you come from.
I'm Duse M, CEO of Active Chucks, and I also run the podcast, Damu and Keyway Conversations. Wack100 interviewed with academics in Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm a blood, homie, like from South Central LA. That's not something we condone, and that reflects on my community. So I see him in depth in the Cloud Chaser room, Big Chuck room, and I questioned him on that. Like he was talking about
I thought you don't believe
going to see Jim Jones, and I'm like, well, he said, well, yeah, he gonna fuck with him because he haven't seen no paperwork. I said, well, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Till you see the paperwork, you don't just treat him up. You don't go do a crime with him because you hear speculation, but you don't just, jump to no conclusions. He was like, yeah, that's how I go. I said, okay, but what in your situation, you don't need to see the paperwork. Tekashi 6ix9ine is publicly exposed as a federal informant, this and that. You don't see the hypocrisy in that? And then we went back and forth, and he was like, look, I see you understand the street shit, but where I'm at with my business, you not there, but I wasn't supposed to come in this room. I think the reason I came in this room was to get with you. If you want to do business and whatever you got going on, you need some help, holler at me. I hit him in his back channel and let him know. I think I ain't on no bullshit with you. I just did 8 years in state prison, 10 years before that in federal prison. But I ain't trying to deal with you because I'm looking at it like he's a potential rat.
Following Ross, aka Stutterbox, telling the authorities about him being kidnapped by his own gang, he would go on to seemingly continue to live the same gangster lifestyle, knowing that yet known Main Street was under investigation, and no one knew Ross was the main witness. In an interview with Bomb First, Wack100 claims that he became friends with Stutterbox because they were neighbors, and that they would occasionally hang out with girls. Wack100 would go on to claim that one of the women he hung out with, he would later go on to see at the Wilshire Federal Building, dressed in a law enforcement uniform. Wack would go on to claim that these girls that he met while hanging out with Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, they asked him about drug buys and different things like this happened when he would hang out with him. In his interviews, he claims that it's these types of encounters that he believed led to an investigation on him. And, that's why his house was raided and all of these things. And like I said, it sounds very convenient and it sounds very plausible. But in later years, when Wack speaks about this arrest, and even when, he goes and gets cops to speak on his behalf about this arrest, it's never about drugs. And he claims that these women who were with Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, he claims that these women were asking him about kilos and drugs, and I guess they thought maybe he used his trucks to transport drugs. But then when he gets his house raided, it's not about drugs. These type of stories, man, it's very important that like I said, we don't want to be first, man, but we want to be right. And the big thing about this story is that that video that hit WorldStar, a lot of people consider that video, kind of retaliation for some things that Wack100 and others have kind of been spreading, some false stories about Nipsey Hussle's death. And that was something that we took into account, you know, when we spoke with the OG Spider Low, when we spoke with the dude Deuce, and we really, you know, when we did our own due diligence, and that was one of the main reasons why we was like, man, we really want to add our own due diligence into this. And I told them dudes, like, look, I want to make sure that it don't look like this is coming from a person who don't like Wack100. You see what I'm saying? Because it's one thing not to like somebody, and it's a whole nother thing to, you know, literally lay out layer by layer exactly, you know, why this dude is an informant and why he's basically admitted to it in interviews if you're able to piece the entire story together. So when we spoke with Deuce specifically, man, you know, and Big U, you know, his name came up. You know, this is what he had to say about, you know, Big U's involvement in the production of this original video about Wack100.
Bro, this
Then he jumped on No Jumper and implicated Big U in a conspiracy to commit murder, insinuating that it was done because Nipsey Hussle was up next for the grid contract.
On top of that, he bring Loose Lip Cannon on No Jumper, coerce him, and have him also implicate him in supplying guns to the Rolling 60s,
after he already been saying Big U is the subject of a potential RICO case right now. He the one that told the world that. He been trying to say the feds is interested in Big U for RICO scenarios, and then he doubled down and come out there and talking about he been selling 20 guns and all that. Wow.
And extortion. He implicated him in 3 different crimes. Well, total 5 different crimes because he listed 3 names in extortion.
That nigga said Rick Ross and Meek Mill didn't even know Big U sent you, huh? Wow.
Right. Yeah, straight rats. But think about this also, bro. He said that I went on Federal Bureau of Prison website, right? If you go on there, type in Lamonte Sims, black, age 45, my case is going to come out. It shows that I was released 2011 from federal custody, right? I'm no longer on federal probation or supervised release, none of that shit.
Okay.
But when he said that he had a RICO coming, and at another time they said he got picked up and the RICO was already coming. First of all, if you don't know the RICO coming because it's sealed until it drops. You understand what I'm saying? So the only way you would know that a RICO was coming, if it was true, was if you had information from the police.
And Hono Hunter think he got it figured out. Don't even know. Big U was surprised to see it on WorldStar. Everybody know Big U got the WorldStar plug. Goofy, that you didn't tell no secrets.
So why is people so why is people saying that this? Yeah, like I was gonna say, a lot of fans are saying this just like get back for the shit that they put on No Jumper. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, you know what you say, a lie unchallenged becomes the truth.
Facts.
So perhaps it is an answer, but it's not a fabrication. It's not a production.
Right. Well, let me tell you this, bro. I already worked on this. You've seen the other 3 videos. I don't have a louder voice of them. I needed a marketing plan, a marketing strategy. So when what's the name? When Big U seen it, he said, bro, more people need to hear this. I got the Checking In podcast. If you give me a license, I can let them promote it for you.
On August 5th, 2008, only 5 months since the kidnapping of Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, a 7-minute wiretap conversation was recorded. The target of the wiretap is Mark Stevens, and he is recorded on the line with another target, Lindell Dale Dog Rouse, the alleged leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips. During the call, Stevens is recorded asking Dale if he wants to speak with the Wack boy, to which Dale declines. Stevens goes on to say that he doesn't help him, and that he called him out of the blue just the day before, August 4th, with the request. This recorded wiretap will also be transcribed for future court proceedings. In the official wiretap transcript document, and before you actually get to the conversation, it is noted that the man police refer to as confidential source 2, aka Beck, is stated as the person attempting to get in contact with Dale Dog through Mark Stevens. In this exact conversation, Stevens refers to the same man who wants to speak with Dale as the Wack Boy. Coincidentally, the Wack Boy, aka CS2, aka Back, was calling to inform Stevens and Dale that Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, was an informant, and they were likely under investigation. Eventually, 7 Main Street Crips, along with alleged leader Liddell Dale Dog Rouse, were arrested and charged with the kidnapping of Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox. NBA star Shaquille O'Neal would even be questioned about his reported ties to the Main Street Crips, but Shaq was eventually cleared. Ultimately, the overall lack of evidence and inconsistency in Robert Ross's original story led to the charges being dropped.
We go here. Hit the like button. Kamu and Keyway.
What we want to do is we just want to lay out the facts. We want to lay out things that if you go through yourself, all of these interviews and all of these different pieces of information, if you were to go through all this information, none of this information is refuted. Wack100 admits that he learned Robert Ross was an informant while he was picking up paperwork at the Wilshire Federal Building. This happened to be after his home was raided. He was never charged with anything. And, he admits he was there, and he admits that's when he learned Robert Ross was an informant. That's a fact. So that's the first fact. So the second fact that was very important in this case is that the LA County Sheriff wiretap transcripts stated that a man by the name of Back, aka CS2, contacted Mark Stevens on August 5th. Well, he contacted him on August 4th, 2008, and Mark Stevens then contacted Dale Dog about this call on August 5th, 2008. Mark Stevens referred to this dude as the Wack Boy, and the government referred to him as Confidential Source 2 and Back. Also recently, man, this dude Wack100, now he's claiming that he helped 7 Main Street Crips avoid jail. I guess recently he was in, on Clubhouse in the depth of the Cloud Chaser room, and he claims that, there's no way he could be a snitch because he actually helped 7 Main Street Crip members avoid jail. Which, to be honest, man, like we said, all of this really came full circle, man. That is exactly what CS2 did, aka Back, aka the Wack Boy. He called and he warned the Main Street Crips about a snitch, not even potentially. He called and warned them about a snitch. They were able to distance themselves and really shut down all communication, eventually causing these charges to get dropped. So basically at this point, like we said, man, at the beginning of the video, the boy Wack100 has finally admitted that he is CS2. I guess his thing is nobody went to jail. He actually helped people get out of jail. But at the end of the day, man, Wack100 is CS2 in that Main Street Crip, Mark Stevens, Liddell Ross paperwork. It's the dude Wack100, man. Shout out to the OG Spider Loke, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, he really tapped me into some real good insight and some real good information. Y'all check out his podcast because, like I said, he has interviews with Mark Stevens as well as Robert Ross Stutterbox. Even though Stutterbox, he told, but at least you can hear, his part, and it does help kind of fill in certain gaps or whatever. You know what I mean? Also, man, shout out to dude Duse, man. Video on WorldStar right now, over 2 million views, man. They're breaking down the paperwork of the boy Wack100. Like I said, man, y'all go check that out, man. Hey, it's your boy Informant Guapo, man. Street Certified News, the most reputable source for urban media, man. And hey, you know what I'm saying? This is something we can stand, man. We stand on it. Man, the boy Wack100, man, CS2, man. Government informant, Rap100, whatever you want to call him, man. It's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? We tried to come at it from the most unbiased, neutral place. We listened to what he said. We listened to what everybody said. We read the paperwork. We looked at the timelines. We looked at the arresting reports. We looked at everything we could look at. And based off of what Wack has said himself, CS2 can't be nobody else. Like I said, but Wack100, man. Hey, It's your boy MXO Guapo, man. Street Certified News, the most reputable source for urban media, man. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe, man. Fuck with your boy, man. We love you. We out.
Because you can't really relate to how the Crippin' and Blood is goofy on his part, right?
The Crippin' and Blood on Wack's part is goofy. 91,000 in a year. Shout out Street Certified News, man. Another real good brother, my boy Guapo. He getting that guap. You know what I'm saying? Big numbers, hundreds and thousands of views on good content. But that's kind of like what we do. You know what I'm saying? Bookings available. ActiveChucks at Gmail. Be a Cash App or Zelle ready. You know what I'm saying? We prefer the Zelle joint. You know what I'm saying? But that's the end of the show. And except my boy Southern Forest, I want to hear what he got to say about the whole presentation. 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Man, can you hear me?
Yes.
Man, this is, well, I already seen this coming, man, because even throughout the 5 years of Clubhouse, you know, I already knew something was fishy and real, like vermin-like. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I knew something was up, but I had to play the position, fall back, and see where it goes, and let him do that talking. But when he really messed up when he brought up the Texas stuff, especially a person who been locked up, who been in and out the system. I've been in and out the system since I was 13. So it's really not too much you can put over on me as far as criminal activities. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like, wait a minute, man. That's no matter what he say, man, Texas don't let you go unless it's in the interest of justice. And of course, the Fed stepped in. I already know on that part. But I need to say something about the J Prince situation, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be a Texan on this one, right? Man, the Fed's been trying to get shit on J Prince, man, because he runs a legitimate business. He don't need really no partnership. He got probably minimum to no partnership. He put the label together and not only created a label, but also branched out and created more businesses. Do you actually think that he will be talking about doing something to somebody after the Fed's been watching him for over 20 to 30 years? 20 to 30 years. Do you actually think that he's going to really be on the line talking about doing something to Wack100? Don't think so. So that right there was a debunking of some bullshit lies, especially the nice actress that he put on there to play an agent. So right. I already knew something was up, something was going down, and this is just nasty work, because you did it for interest of justice. Then you took your ass back to the West Coast, lined everybody asses up, and then didn't want nobody, even as an informant, you didn't want nobody informing bigger than you. You see what I'm saying? So it is nasty work all the way around, man. Salute to Damu Kiwi Conversations. Salute to you, Deuce. Salute to the family. Man, keep on putting them chucks on his neck.
We own it, bro. Hey, salute to everybody that shouted out. If you ain't hit that like button, that's the least you could do. The Cash App is on the bottom ticker. If you appreciated that great content and journalistic research, that's what y'all do. Hey, listen, man. Enjoy life today the way that you want to live it, because it might be the only life that you got. Nothing's guaranteed. Any day could be your last day. Even more than that, enjoy life with your loved ones, because you never know when they can lose them. You might miss the opportunity. That's the regret that we all don't want, man. Salute and condolences over all that supported. Special condolences to A Dose of Reality TV and his family. Salute. Damu Kiwi Conversation.